On this episode of The Twisted 10, I give you my favorite top 10 Star Trek Next Generation episodes.
Nerd! Oh, welcome to another episode of The Twisted 10.
What's up, what's up?
I am Adam. I am not your host tonight. It's a weird way to start off shows, I guess. But that's okay. It's what we do.
But you are always the host. You're just not the list master. You're not the list host.
I'm not the list host. We're all co-hosts.
Ghost host.
Anyway, sitting across from me over in the man chairs.
This is a man chair?
It's a man. I don't know what to call that thing, man. It came from a salon, so.
The salon chair?
It's not a salon chair, but
It was very uncomfortable the first time or two I sat in it compared to the old chair that was here. Now it fits my back and my ass
lost
perfectly.
A lot of weight.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. I don't squeeze it anymore like an airplane.
Your love handles don't go pulling out. That was a bad sound effect for that effect, but you know what I meant.
Is that what my love handles sound like?
A little bit.
I'm Ron, and I am the host tonight.
Yes.
And sitting across from us is
the Schrodinger's cat.
Schrodinger's cat.
I said that like I was drunk.
Schrodinger's cat.
God damn it. Yeah, Josh is. So he is technically.
So he's with us here, but yet not here.
He's in studio, sort of. He's connected to Discord, but he is having some technical difficulties. He's also sick, the poor guy. So. Maybe that's why it sounded like he was in a tin can. It was just his voice. Maybe that was him just being sick. We're going to reference Josh throughout the podcast, and all you're going to hear is that appropriate time to use the button.
Perfectly appropriate. Cool. So every now and then I'm going to say, Josh, what do you think? And then yes, that's the way it's going to go.
No, he might join us later. Yeah,
hopefully.
I've got him cranked up, so when he comes to join the show, he's just going to start talking. He's going to interrupt the show. It's going to probably scare us, but hey, so be it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Discord has got some of our council members. This is an off night for us, so we were going to record Tuesday, but Josh's daughter was sick, so we hopefully that's not too much information. We had some sicknesses in our families, so we pushed to today, and turns out that was enough time for him to also catch the crud. It's not COVID; it's already been tested, so he's good there. Thank goodness his family doesn't have it. But we are one short in the studio and a couple days off, but thank you for the council members and the Discord people who are hanging out with us tonight for coming on an off night. That's cool as hell. So we'll try to keep up with you guys in the lobby. We are one man down tonight, so we're going to do our best to keep the flow of the show going as well as keep up with Discord tonight. But we'll do our very, very best.
Yes, that's right. So before we get into the show itself, anything exciting in your life, Adam?
Oh man, damn it, I didn't prep for that. Just some stress with work and stuff like that. But that's expected.
That's not exciting.
Part of life. Definitely not exciting. Let's see.
What kind of super secret government stuff can you not tell us about?
Well, I can tell you, but I'd have to kill everybody that listens to the show. It's not that big of a list of people, though, to be honest. So. Just kidding.
4 people listening live. Well, wait, 3, 2, oh.
They're gone. I took care of them already.
Those are gone.
No, I don't know. I don't guess much. I don't guess. Oh, no, I do have one thing that was really cool. So my wife entered our daughter, our 3-year-old toddler, into an internet popularity contest. Let's just call it what it is.
On Facebook?
No, there's a magazine out of Central Florida called Central Florida Lifestyle Magazine or something like that.
That sounds like a major national publication. Continue.
Yeah, no, I bet it's not. And it's a photo contest, and you have to sign all the waivers and shit for them to use the likeness of your child and whatever. But it's a photo contest where it's a popularity seek, basically. It's you vote for your kid once every 3 hours, and you have all of your Facebook friends and family and whoever go out and vote for your kid's picture as well, and top prize gets $500, second prize gets $250, third prize gets $100. Plus they get the top 3, first, second, and third get pulled over to a photo shoot to be used in the magazine and on their online thing. So I even put it in our Discord, so we got some listeners of ours that even helped to get some votes in there. But we got Abby to second place with like 3,200 votes or something like that.
Cool.
It was a lot of votes. It was maybe
what does second place get her?
2,700.
She gonna get in the is she gonna be in the magazine?
Yeah. Yeah, she'll be in the magazine, and she'll also be on the on their website, like featuring. It's like I don't even know what it's really for. I think it's to promote products. So we're whoring our daughter out to
for
sell
$250
for $250. But it's kind of cool because it's exciting, and it's.
Do you feel like the number one was really better than your child, or no? You feel like you got robbed?
Yeah. No. All the kids, and in fact, some of the kids that had like 4 and 5 votes at the end of the week, I felt bad for them. Like, those are great pictures. These kids are, they're adorable. They should have got more votes. And,
well, they don't have a national podcast like you, Adam. That's why.
Well, that's a possibility. We definitely got some votes out of
Joe Rogan
here.
Jr. over here.
But I think it had to do with a lot with her mother and her mother's sister and the grandmothers and all of the family that we have all around the world. They all, were pushing pretty hard to get her some votes. So I think, not to besmirch the listeners at all, because they certainly helped.
Besmirch. Good word.
My wife's mother had her phone set to go off on an alarm every 3 hours, 24 hours a day for a week.
Is it dismirch with a D or
B?
B. Oh, it sounded like you said D.
I probably did.
I don't know that you did or not. I was just wondering. I was just thinking about that word. I was like, that's a good word. And I was like, but I don't think that's right. Yeah,
it's besmirched.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did it.
Oh, we have Josh on?
Hey.
Damn, we can't make fun of you. I got the crickets button ready for every time we were going to throw it your way.
Now, here's the thing. Josh is here, but we're not we're in the middle of the show, but we're not technically necessarily have the audio tracks lined up. So now you're going to have to do some fancy stuff there.
Oh, that's fine.
That's all right.
That ain't
That's
gonna
all right.
take much
I waited like 30 seconds for a good point to jump in, and I was narrating.
When I'm talking,
has my voice notes on how to join.
When I'm talking, there's never a good time to jump in. You just got to fucking get in, wedge yourself in there.
One of our Discord folks said, Josh, broadcasting from the Wendy's drive-thru. Oh, yeah.
I know.
Yes.
Oh. So because I'm at home, I have my PS5 headset on,
so
I can talk like to you guys through Discord and hear you guys. But I have a nice recorder in front of me, so when you're hearing this as an actual release, that joke doesn't make any sense.
Yes, but to the live listener, you sound like you're talking in a tin can.
Oh, it's awful.
I am Bane. I will kill Batman. Oh, shit.
How are you feeling, Josh? I did make an announcement that you guys were a little sick and under the weather in the family. How are you feeling?
I'm well enough to be here. It's just like this obnoxious head cold. So you took some Dayquil and called it a day.
I was gonna say just take some horse urine. I hear it does wonders.
Well, too far. Wait, horse? Is that the?
I don't know.
COVID.
I'm getting just bits and pieces because I've got it all shut off. So I probably have something completely incorrect there.
So I'm sure everything cures everything.
I'm sure I got the gist of it to somebody out there.
I see what you did there. The jizz of it.
Yes.
Horse.
Definitely.
I see. That's Josh's Tuesdays, by the way. That's what he does.
So, even now that Josh is with us, before we kick it off, a big thanks to the Twisted Council for their support of the show. You guys are awesome. Also, to our listeners hanging out with us in Discord for the live stream, thank you so much. If you're enjoying the show, we have more behind the scenes for you. Go to twisted10.com for the info and links.
And big shout out to our show sponsor. Thank you to Manscaped. We will be giving away another goodie pack tonight of some kind for one of our Discord folks who react to the announcement over on the announcements tab in Discord. No purchase necessary. Just got to add an emoji of some kind.
Just jump in there, add or click on one of the ones that's already there.
Now,
it
Josh,
can even be that simple.
Are you going to be able to still pull that name tonight, or do you need me to do that from up here?
Nope, I definitely can.
Okay, cool.
It's just here in Discord, so I'll just pull it up, type the names into my random name picker on my phone, and do it scientifically.
All the other boxes for all the past winners, other than Kim's, because she was here in studio with us that night, all the other stuff has already been mailed out, so you guys should have already received it, or should be receiving it here. Oh, excuse me, that came out of nowhere. Or should be receiving it here in the next day or two. Before you start your show, this is kind of a small world scenario here. So Brevard County is not a small town. This isn't small town living. It's not big city living by any stretch. This isn't like, Chicagoland.
What down, Joe?
It ain't nothing like that, but we do have, what do we have in Brevard County? About 400,000 citizens?
About 600,000.
600,000. So it's
like 600.
611,000. I happen to be looking statistics.
He always
Nice.
has that up at all times. He wants to know. He wants to know how many people are in my county.
So I went to our local UPS store because fuck USPS. I wasn't going to send anything through USPS because their tracking metrics suck, and I'm just not a fan of USPS anymore. But I went to UPS. I wanted to ship our prize packs for Manscaped out to our listeners. So I go in and I got my mask on. Even though I'm vaccinated, I still respect the suggestions from the CDC, and I wear my mask. So I go in and I got my sunglasses on. So I look kind of fucking incognito anyway. I mean, you can't really see. If you know me, it's kind of hard still to tell because I got big sunglasses. Whatever. So I go in and I lift my sunglasses up and I see the guy behind the counter, and he's also in a mask, but his mask is below his nose. I'm like, all right, yeah, he doesn't really give a shit about the mask. He's just wearing it because his boss tells him to. So I go up there and I'm like, hey, I got 4 packages to send to 4 different locations in the U.S. And he's like, all right. I was like, I also need to buy some of that bubble wrap stuff so I can secure some of it because it's soaps and liquids and stuff like that. I don't want it rattling around inside the box, and I didn't have that stuff here. So the guy kind of looked familiar. The guy looked a little bit familiar, but I'm horrible with placing names to faces. I remember the faces, but this was half of a face behind a mask. So I'm there. He's like, all right, give me your name. It's like, first name's Adam. He's like, all right, what's your last name? And as I was spelling my last name, because I always say my last name and then I spell it, because inevitably people are going to ask how to spell it. So as I was spelling my last name, he's like, I used to be in your fantasy football league. Like, what? It's our old friend Greg. I don't know if you remember Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm like, holy shit, dude, what are you? I didn't even know he lived in this area. He's like, I don't. I live over in the island, but, it's easier work up here, so I'm up here. So we sat there and bullshitted where there was 5 customers behind us. We're talking about fantasy football.
Fuck them.
Well, that's kind of my opinion. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm still doing my business. I'm signing my papers and doing all that stuff while we're, conversing about fantasy football. No one behind us seemed very happy or cared about.
So that
fantasy
whole
football.
story was because you ran into someone who works at UPS. You thought everyone needed to hear a 5-minute story about that.
I thought you would like it. I don't.
Then tell me off air next time.
I don't.
I just did.
Really, I was saying.
Damn.
Adam, I am saving the show right now.
I was talking about
Saving the show.
Manscaped and the products that we were good
yeah.
at, man. Manscaped.
Yes, Manscaped. Good job.
Right,
Good job. Now, if this
It's your
guy
list,
had started
bro.
talking to you about shaving his balls, you have me. Yeah. But
No, I don't think. But, I mean, I might have been able to get Greg into using the Manscaped product, but I don't think so.
right then and there, test it out here.
Yeah.
Let's give you an extra one here.
Super ironic. I figured you would like the story of anybody. I'm like, I got to tell Ron that story on Tuesday, Thursday, whatever day we happen to record. But
That was exciting.
Man, I
Damn.
have some good news as well in my life.
you better pick up the pace on the story a little bit because Ron is pretty harsh on analyzing our stories tonight, Josh.
So this is going to be very dad vibes, but we got everything done and finished and ready for both of our kids to start VPK, or I guess pre-VPK, whatever, daycare school. It's set up as a school. Anyways, it's 2 miles away. It's super highly rated. Everyone raves about how great they are. We got both of our kids in there, and they start on Monday. My wife and I are about to have free time.
That's
so
cool,
excited.
man. That's exciting. I'm not looking forward to the day when we got to send our little girls to school because that's sad. I mean, that's
You know what sending both your kids to school in free time usually creates? A third kid. But in your case, that's not going to happen.
So, I mean, the thing is, they're just going to go in the morning for a few hours. And even though it's basically like daycare, it's structured to start learning. And one of the things that drove it is that our oldest, she asked when she could start school so she could make friends.
Aww.
Right. And that was like, oh, that's hard. But so now it's like right down the road so they can go, and they're going to go till nap time. And then Mark's going to pick them up after nap time.
That's awesome.
It's just a few hours in the morning. It's super exciting. It's been years. I know
That's
it's been
cool.
much longer for you guys, but
Shit, I have one about to graduate and another that's, a year away from graduating. So, and then we're starting all over with the little ones. So we're the perpetual children in this house is what it feels like.
Yeah, you're a baby factory.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know if you're really the factory as much as you're, I don't know.
Contributor? I'm the parts dealer.
Operating the machine? I don't know.
Is that what we're calling it?
Pushing the buttons?
That
I'm
is
not
now
sure.
the nickname for my dick. The machine.
The machine. Oh, man, the rusty machine from what I hear. Oh!
Rusty trombone.
Wow. So, yeah. All right. What? Adam's looking at his phone. He's worse than me.
No, I'm keeping up with our Discord folks in the lobby. So anybody who's listening to the show live in Discord can contribute inside the lobby and add to the show if they want to, or make commentary about the machine.
Gotcha. I'd like to comment on the machine, but that sounds more like an after show topic.
It does. All right.
Definitely.
We'll go with that.
All
All right, Ron, this is your show, buddy. So, all right, Josh, you usually keep us on track with business stuff. Did we take care of all the business plugs and the necessities in the show beforehand?
That was everything. Yeah, you guys did it. You handled it. I'm gonna not feel every week. You guys did such a great job.
All right.
Sounds good. All right, Ron, the show is yours, buddy. Now, I put in the title, Beam Me Up, Ronnie. I think I know where we're going with this, but take it away.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its ongoing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. Dun, 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 dun.
It is finally
that's
that
enough of
episode.
That. Yes, it is
You've
finally
teased
here.
this. You've teased this several times.
I'm so glad that that's what it was. When you dropped that teaser in our chat a few days ago, I was like, it has to be one of the intros. He's going to do it.
Yes. This
And I'm
is
so excited.
This is my top 10 favorite Star Trek. Okay, now based off, and I'll let Discord chime in here if they want. So we already lost somebody. We're like, no, I'm out. I hate Star Trek. Based off what I just did, right? The intro and the way I did it, the verbiage of the intro. Which Star Trek?
Next Generation. I already know this one.
Very good. And
I'm a bigger Trekkie than
what
you
were
might know.
What were the clues in the intro? Which two differences of the Next Generation? This is really getting Trekkie here. The Next Generation intro and classic Star Trek intro, right? That's Space, the Final Frontier. There's two differences. What are the differences?
I don't know that one. I don't remember. So I grew up being the age that I am, but me and you were in the same age. Josh
Yeah, we
is 10
grew
years
up in the
younger.
Next Generation.
We grew up in the Next Generation.
yeah.
That was like my jam. That was my go-to show. I don't really remember the theme music and the theme dialogue for the intro for the original Star Trek. I don't recall it. I know I've seen it.
The music for the original one, instead of dun, 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 that, the music for the that music actually came from the movies, from the original Star Trek movies. But the music for the original show was but I won't.
We had Discord chiming in. The lyrics, one has them and one the other doesn't.
Yeah, there's two changes in that intro that they did from the classic into the Next Generation, and they both make sense. And I was just wondering if anybody knew what the
Was that
changes
right?
were.
One has lyrics and one doesn't? Or yeah,
This
one
game
has.
is rigged.
No, it's not a game. Nice. It's ongoing mission. The original one is a 5-year mission.
Well, he said continued. Actually, it was in there twice. He said continued, and I think 5-year voyage.
Yeah, well, the 5-year mission versus its ongoing mission in the end is to boldly go where no one has gone before. Classic Star Trek had where no man has gone before. So they made those changes.
How progressive of them.
Very progressive.
Yeah,
Very.
that was a long time ago.
So
That was
89, episode 1, Farpoint Station, which is not on this list. Episode 1 and 2 was 1989.
Oh, very cool. That's the year Josh was born, I think.
Well, it was close. It was 88.
That was really close.
Didn't we just have like a really significant Star Trek anniversary a few days ago?
Yes, 2 days ago was the 50th anniversary.
Wow, really?
Cool.
Yes. Yep. No, it was yesterday, actually. I would have recorded it the day before. I'm recording it the day after the 50th anniversary. So it's
How apropos.
cool.
That's good timing.
Well timed. Yes. So are you guys ready?
Hell yes. I'm a huge fan of Star Trek. I am really looking forward to this list.
So these are just my top 10 favorite in order
Are
Now-
any twists or anything?
No, I can't. Man, that's the thing. It's another great list. I can't waste one on a twist.
Yeah. All right, that's true.
All right. So I listed like 25 episodes that I really, really like. And I was like, first I tried to do this list with both classic and Star Trek Next Generation mixed. I'm like, this is impossible for 10.
Well, hang on. Before you go any further, Star Trek had a bunch of spinoffs too.
It's had several spinoffs, and they're still doing spinoffs. There's a new one coming out with like the whole Christopher Pike, and it'll be Christopher Pike. It'll be Nurse Chapel. There'll be a Science Officer Spock. Like they're doing a show.
Wow,
that's
really?
that's on Paramount.
To your point, this is only dealing with
Next
the Next
Generation.
Generation Star Trek.
Simply
Okay.
Next Generation, because then I can go do a classic Star Trek list too. See, I turned.
I
was going to
predict-
make it in one list. I'm going to do two.
I predict one of two things is going to happen out of this list. Because
All
we
right.
know Star Trek is a very niche subject, but that's
It
perfect
is,
for
definitely.
Twisted 10 because we often deal with niche subjects. We dealt with one with The Simpsons. I mean, shit, there's a ton of them out there.
Yeah, we have a
where
ton
we've
of
got
niche.
very niche.
Paleoanthropology.
Yeah, for sure.
So either we're going to garner the Trekkie fan base and we're going to get thousands of new listeners because of how many people love Star Trek.
Are there really thousands of people like Star Trek?
yeah, internationally I
Yeah,
would say
probably,
yes.
yeah.
Or I mean, it has its own convention, Ron. Or we're going to have our current listeners turn on us, and we're going to have like 17 downloads for this episode.
Yeah, it's
One or
true.
the other.
It's
It's-
unsubscribe. Never listening to that dumb show again, dorks.
Well, hey, we're niche. That's our point. That's our point. What's up, Josh?
That's gotta be a weird experience to be going to conventions and like doing panel presentations and nonsense on a show that happened like 50 years ago. They're like, I just want to do something else.
I
Stop paying.
love the people that go to those conventions and they'll ask one of these stars. Now these people are actors that they'll go up and say, well, according to the blueprints of the Enterprise level 17 Bravo deck.
But there's Star Wars people like that too.
Granted, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
no,
sci-fi fans that are all over the place like that. Yeah.
Big Bang Theory, getting off subject a little bit, but Big Bang Theory does that when Mark Hamill, spoilers, marries Sheldon and Amy. Like he's the one doing it, and there was a delay, and so I think it was Wolowitz said, "Hey, he's going to answer all your Star Wars questions." It was clear that there's people in Star Wars that know way more about Star Wars than Mark Hamill. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, yeah, definitely. There's just always those types of people. But I would say call myself kind of not that level, but I'm a
above?
Trekkie. I'm
You're a hardcore
absolutely a
Trekkie?
Trekkie.
Do you go
Yeah.
to the conventions?
I have never been to one. I would absolutely go to one.
Would
in a
you dress
second.
up?
Oh fuck yeah! I have
Would
to.
you really?
Oh, in a million.
What would you go as, Picard?
I would go as an Andorian, which is a classic Star Trek character for sure. I would go to a regular convention, like a regular Comic-Con as an Andorian.
Ron, I would go to a
Man.
insurance convention
I would-
dressed as an Andorian.
I would go to an Amway convention.
I felt your pinky rising while you were telling us exactly how you would go because you have the whole costume in mind. There's more there.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because I've preconceived it. I just haven't executed.
You've pre-come to it? What did
I
you
said
say?
preconceived, just haven't like executed the plan.
Is that over the line?
Yeah, because I can't just buy the Andorian stuff. I have to make it, and I'm not really a make it kind of guy. But they wear a classic Star Trek uniform. So the uniform's easy. The blue makeup's easy. It's the wig and the little like horns, the little horn ears things that they have.
I see. I'm not picturing it in my head. I don't know what Andorian
If you
looks
Google,
like.
well, Google it. Google an Andorian. That has nothing to do with this list. Okay, go ahead, Josh.
Can you speak the
Do you
language?
speak any of the languages? Do you
Sorry,
have,
Josh.
Or, understand maybe?
No, I don't. I mean, that's on Big Bang. They like speak Klingon all the time. They play Klingon Boggle. That is something I cannot do.
Oh, like the Mork and Mindy antler looking dude?
Yes, that's an
Oh,
Andorian.
okay.
You got it. You got it. All right, you guys ready
There's
for
some
number
hot
10?
Andorians
Let's do it.
on
Yeah, let's do
Google.
it.
Number 10. I will give the episode name on each one and then the season and the episode number for anybody that wants to go watch. Number 10, Where No One Has Gone Before. Season 1, episode 6. Now on Netflix, it'll say episode 5. So just pay attention to the name of it. The reason on Netflix it does that is episode 1, Encounter at Farpoint Station, is actually considered 2 episodes, 1 and 2. But Netflix has it as part 1 and 2 just as 1 episode, so it throws all the numbers off, just FYI. For anybody going to search these out, which I doubt, but if anyone is. Where No One Has Gone Before. Now I'm just going to give like a kind of brief synopsis of the show, if you will. The Enterprise rendezvous with the USS Fearless to bring aboard Mr. Kozinski, a Starfleet propulsion expert who plans to run tests on the warp engines to improve their efficiency. Commander Riker is skeptical of Kozinski's seemingly nonsensical specifications, suggesting his apparent success on the other ships was merely addressing inherent design flaws on older engines, whereas the Enterprise's engines are brand new. With Kozinski and his assistants, an alien from Ta Alpha C, known as the Traveler. As Kozinski and the Traveler explain the tests to the engineering crew, Wesley Crusher quickly grasps what the tests are designed to accomplish, and the Traveler expresses admiration for his problem-solving abilities.
Wesley Crusher was also, what's his real name?
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton, also a star who made a lot of appearances in The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, he was on like 20 episodes of Big Bang Theory, playing himself.
Yep, playing Will Wheaton. Yeah.
Yes. The test quickly goes awry when the Enterprise speeds up, surpassing the known capabilities of warp engines. Captain Picard orders the ship stopped, and the crew finds themselves on the far side of M33 Galaxy, more than 2.7 million light years from the Milky Way. So pretty much...
this is the introduction of a character that I wanted, right? Isn't this the introduction of the one particular character I've talked about in the past?
Which character is that?
Q.
No.
This isn't the Q that did that?
No, the Q didn't. The Q did something different. And man, I can't remember if I did it as one of these episodes or not.
That's fine.
So I don't want to give it away. The Q did send them far off, but not this far off. Not galaxies away. Q sent them like further into the galaxy than they'd ever been, than anybody had been before. So pretty much the bottom line, just to summarize the summary. This guy who claims to be some engine expert and just be some just amazing guy, he's just so smart, right? He comes on there and he's going to test the Enterprise's engines and just show them how efficient he can make them, how amazing it is. When really it's nothing to do with him and his bullshit math, bullshit calculations. Like Geordi and Wesley are all looking at this as like, this is all just BS. Like, none of this should work. Why does this work? Well, it's all based off this guy from Ta Alpha C. He's a traveler, and he physically can make the ship go wherever he wants it to go, as far as he wants it to go. So they end up in this galaxy that's like galaxies away. It's just really cool. It's one of my favorite episodes. I like the Traveler. The Traveler pops up again in somewhere in season maybe 6 or 7. Along with Wesley Crusher, after Wesley had left the show for a while, because Wesley wasn't on the show all 7 seasons. He had left to go to the Starfleet Academy, and then he was just kind of in and out after that. And it turns out that Wesley is actually a traveler, but we don't know that in this one.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
so we don't find that out until like towards the end when we have another traveler episode.
Josh, you've been reading on another line of science fiction. You've been reading the Dune books. What is the creature called that uses the spice that can travel without moving? What is that big blob worm creature called? Do you remember?
I've only read the first 2 books, and I don't think what you're describing exists in the first 2 books.
Oh, copy that. Well, yeah, this was part of the movie. So there's the Traveler reminds me of the things in Dune that can travel without moving. Basically, teleport themselves from one place to another instantaneously across the galaxy. So it's very similar. Cool.
That's really cool.
Yep. Now,
I paused like right before it got super weird.
Oh, in
Book
your
3
book
is where it starts to get weird. Yeah.
He paused. Is it an audio book?
Because
you said paused.
Well, pause can be used in real life to mean you're taking a break from something.
Do you push a button on the book?
No.
Yeah, the cover.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't know. He said pause. I thought maybe it was an audio book.
I mean, it's on my Kindle.
Oh, okay.
No, I read like an hour every night.
Cool.
And I just went down this science fiction kick lately. Let's see if I can find some Star Trek books. I bet they're good.
I've read some Next Generation stuff.
Speaking science fiction, Matrix 4.
I am not.
Yeah.
This is maybe it's. Can we push that in the after show?
Yeah. I'll add that
because I don't want to
Josh
tangent
sent me a
too
link
hard.
that's pretty cool.
We already it's one tangent per number. We tangented on Dune. We can't then tangent also on Matrix 4, but we'll talk about it in the after show.
The Twisted 10 After Show, a place where our tangents live.
It's the place where the tangents live and die.
Yes. And die. Yes.
Okay. So I like that one because the whole traveler concept, going into another galaxy, thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed that one.
Kind of lays the groundwork for like why they're out in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. That's what they want, right? That's what they want. All right. So number 9, Clues, season 4, episode 14.
Blue's Clues?
Blue's Clues. What? Okay, tangent already. What was up with some message from Steve from Blue's Clues that made people sad? Is he dying or something? Like, what's going on?
Josh, this is all you, buddy, because this is your generation.
That's fine. He didn't make people like.
Josh, did you watch Blue's Clues as a kid?
He did. It was 10 years
Yeah,
old.
so what it is like basically he left the show inexplicably. It was super quick and he just left the show. And he kind of fell off the face of the earth. And this being the 25th anniversary of Blue's Clues, which I only know because this thing came out. Like he came back and he's like, hey, I left and I went to college and I did it because of you. It was just a feel-good video. And for people who like invest in those TV personalities, it was like a really touching thing for him to come back and say, hey, thank you, just as a...
That is
like a promo.
And he looks way older.
Wait, 25
he
years
is
older.
way older.
Well, probably 20 years older than what he was during the tapings. But
He's-
yeah, that's... and I put in our Discord just between us. I'm like, well, no, that was in our lobby. I'm like, I don't get it. I mean, I guess it's a generational thing. And I had a friend tell me, like, the people who grew up with Blue's Clues are your more kind of millennial folks, and they feel differently about the influencers of their lives than we did, even one generation difference than we did. Like, I don't care about Jean-Luc Picard or whatever the fuck his real name is.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. I don't care about
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
If he left the show and they replaced him with some other good-looking bald guy that can act pretty well, okay, move right along with our lives and keep going, or whatever, whatever the case is. I never had the attachment to the real life persona of the person like a millennial generation does. That's kind of an advantage that they have. They take more, to me at least, they take more pride in getting to know more of the actor behind the show than I think our generation ever did. I think that's just a generational thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I could quote him. It was from Bo Burnham's special recently. He said that like this generation cares more about what a company stands for and with, or like what a celebrity stands for and with, and they'll support them for that kind of reason.
Okay. Another after show topic. Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham? All right,
yes,
cool.
Absolutely. All right, so number 9, getting back on Star Trek, Clues, mail time. No, I'm just kidding. That was Blue's Clues. Mail time. Okay, no more Blue's Clues. Clues, season 4, episode 14. The Enterprise investigates a T-Tari class star system with a single Class M planet. What is a Class M planet?
It's an Earth-like planet.
Yes, there you go.
Survivable for us.
That was picked up on a long-range sensor scan near the Ngami Nebula. Oh, that's hard to say. As they approach the planet, the ship encounters a wormhole, and everyone except Lieutenant Commander Data briefly loses consciousness. When the crew regains consciousness, some of the ship's sensors suggest it has been nearly a day since the wormhole encounter. But Data states that they were only out for moments, and the ship's instruments were affected by the wormhole. Following Data's suggestion, Captain Picard decides to send a probe into the system to avoid further harm to the ship. The probe reports only the presence of a frozen gas giant instead of the Class M planet from before. Again, Data attributes this to effects of the wormhole. As the ship moves away from the system, the crew begins to find evidence that does not support Data's claims that they were unconscious for only 30 seconds. For example, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Crusher has found moss samples that show a full day of growth, and has found that Worf, complaining of a sore wrist, actually had his wrist broken and reset by a medical professional. Picard begins to suspect Data's claims and believes the rest of the crew is suffering from missing time syndrome. Picard confronts Data on the issue, but Data cannot provide a rational answer. Further studies of the crew by Dr. Crusher show that Data's explanations are impossible. They have lost a day from the wormhole encounter, and there is evidence that Data tampered with the probe's readings to mask the Class M planet. So bottom line, they're all...
The AI? This is an AI story, isn't this?
They go to visit they see a Class M planet. They go to visit it. All of a sudden, this, something like scans the Enterprise. They all pass out.
Can you do that sound effect again?
they all pass out, and only Data's awake. He tells them all, "Oh no, you were asleep for 30 seconds. It was some kind of weird thing. Sleep 30 seconds." And he's like, "Oh no, we shouldn't revisit. Let's just send a probe." Probe sends a completely different planet, and they're about to go on with their lives, except all these different clues starts.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it starts coming up. That's why the show's called Clues. And as they say in the show, it created a mystery, and for humans, a mystery is impossible. Like, it has to be solved. So, and then they start to realize that Data's like lying. He's full of crap. Like, we were definitely out of day. There was all this evidence that we were out of day, and Data's like, no, definitely not. Just 30 seconds. And then he starts to say, do you understand that you're going to be stripped to your wires till they find out what's wrong with you? Yes, I do understand that. Blah, 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 blah. And then Picard starts to realize that, yes, Data's lying, but I think he's lying to protect us. Not necessarily for something nefarious. But they decide, nope, we're going back to the planet. We're going to go see what it is. So they head back to the planet. There it is, the Class M planet, not the gas planet
Paradise?
that they said. No, it's not Paradise. All of a sudden, Troy, right?
So hang on. So I think this is kind of poignant to state for this number, especially, but also the additional numbers that we're going to go through in Ron's list. There has to be a prerequisite for this show. You need to know the characters of Star Trek.
Oh, you're right.
Because we said Picard, that's the captain.
Picard's the captain. You're right.
Data is the artificial intelligent android.
I figured no one would listen to this who didn't like Star Trek Next Generation.
No, that's fair. No, that's very fair. But you start naming these names. I know them immediately because I'm a fan of the show and I've watched probably almost all of them.
I apologize. I will try and
no, it's okay.
Say them.
Just say their role.
Yeah, say who they are.
Doing a good enough job following. But one thing I did definitely learn in there is that Adam might be suffering from lost time syndrome.
Fuck you, Josh.
Adam, have you recently had your wrist broken and reset by a professional?
No, but I think you
What about your dick?
I think you need to inspect this dick over here. You can come take a look real close.
Okay, I'll get my microscope. I'll be right back.
Macroscope?
Macroscope. I'll get my Hubble telescope. So where was I in the story? Oh yeah, so
Troy,
all of a
you made
sudden,
it to Troy, who is the
counselor. She's the ship's counselor. Now that's a role.
Hottest character on the show, by the way.
Marina Sirtis is the actress. She's actually English, by the way. And so is Gates McFadden, who plays Dr. Crusher. Yeah. But she's actually English in real life. But she's kind of all of a sudden taken over by like an alien presence. And she goes to the ship, to the bridge. Data goes to the bridge.
She's empath as well, right? She's psychic or partially empath.
She's a beta. Her father is from Beta Z, so she's half Betazoid, half human. Now, Betazoids are completely empathic because she's only half. She can only sense emotion in people. She can sense if you're lying, if you're upset, if you're mad. She can sense it instantly, but she cannot necessarily speak to you telepathically unless it's another Betazoid. Except one time she does it with the first officer, right? Riker, in the very first episode. She has because I guess they had they had a relationship in the past before they get on this. I'm really kind of tangenting on Star Trek, so I guess that's okay. Anyway, she goes to the bridge. Data goes to the bridge and says, "Hey, we got to turn around. We can't be here. We got to go back." Then all of a sudden, Picard's like, "No, we're not leaving until we get some answers." And Picard's like, Are you being ordered? Did Starfleet reach out to you and tell you to conceal this from us? And then finally he said, "Who told you to conceal this?" And Data sees the jig is up. The alien is back in Troy's body again. And he said, "Who told you? Who gave you this command?" And he goes to Picard. "You did, sir." So that's what it was. Is the whole plan was these aliens says you cannot know if they're what they call xenophobes. That was the term they use. They do not want anybody coming near their planet. They don't want people to even know that their planet exists.
And they all look like Xena Warrior Princess.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, in this case, they're just possessing Counselor Troy's body. So
I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah, I know, right?
Tell me about it.
So the whole plan was initially, wait a minute, why don't you just block? So I guess they normally just block out everybody's memory. They think they just went through a wormhole.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Got knocked the fuck out. And they just think that they went through a wormhole, and then that's that. That's what they normally do. But because of Data, they couldn't knock out Data. But he made a promise. No, I'll never say anything. He has to follow my orders. I'll never say anything, blah, 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 blah. But then they tell them, the aliens say, okay, we're going to have to just kill you guys. Because people can't know. And he goes, wait a minute. Yeah, that's pretty much what they say. He says, wait a minute, why don't we give it another try? Why don't we try this again, but this time, all these little clues, let's make sure we don't leave any of those clues. So that's pretty much how it ends, is they give it a second shot. Again, they wake up. Data tells them they were out for 30 seconds, and then then the show's over.
And then move on with their lives.
They move on with their life, never knowing except for Data. That's what that episode's about. So
this is going to make me want to go back and watch Star Trek Next Generation again. I can already feel it. Every once in a while, I get in those moods to want to go back and watch Star Trek, one iteration of the shows.
I did not rewatch this. Okay, I'm going to tell you the sadness of my life, right? And how much I like this show. I did not go through and rewatch one of these for this episode, for this show. I haven't seen most of these in years. Sadly,
these are all recalled.
That's really cool though. Like I don't have a thing like that.
We did get
I was thinking
Josh.
The same thing, Adam. Like these are some really cool sci-fi plots, and now I might go watch some old Star Trek.
The writers for Star Trek are fucking great.
They put great stories. Let's have a conversation about that. Let's have a deeper conversation about the writing for Star Trek Next Generation. I got in a conversation with a friend of mine, Matthew Sanborn Smith. He is actually a published writer. He's written tons of cool sci-fi novels, lots of stuff. He's a published writer. But I met him through Barnes & Noble. And
Books A Million.
And we've maintained a friendship ever since. He hates the writing in Star Trek Next Generation. Cannot stand it. And he made some valid points, which almost fucking for like a period of time of my life ruined the show for me. Kind of reminds me of the Big Bang Theory where Amy Farrah Fowler ruins Indiana Jones for them, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Kind of reminded me of that, but I got past it and then decided, you know what, fuck him, I like this show. He can screw off. The characters are fun. They're fun characters, love them all. The sci-fi plots, what Josh just pointed out, the sci-fi plots are the best of all of Star Trek, and they most have been of sci-fi. They are kick-ass.
Imitation is the biggest form of flattery. Those same story arcs have been replicated in every other science fiction TV show since Star Trek. So they have been mirrored throughout the little robots, the AI, becoming sentient, all of it.
The Orville is practically a carbon copy comedy of Star Trek The Next Generation, but I know that's purposeful.
That's meant to be that way.
I know it's purposeful, but I love the Orville, by the way. That's a great show.
I've got your next partnership, Ron. You need to do a very Trekkie podcast.
A very Trekkie podcast. Nice.
I apologize for this interruption of the show, but this is absolutely worth it. So William Shatner, this is back in the original.
Is he in our Discord?
He's in our Discord right now. I can't do a Shatner. I give it my best shot.
I love the Twisted 10.
So William Shatner wanted to start. This is from one of our council members. William Shatner wanted to start a line of female underwear. Unfortunately, Shatner panties wasn't the greatest brand name.
Oh, that was great.
Fucking shit.
That was awesome.
Fluff, thank you. That made my night.
Wonderful.
Oh my lord. Okay, what was I just talking about? Oh yeah. So the biggest thing he pointed out two things. Number one, most good drama, sci-fi, good writing involves character conflict. There is almost none between the characters in Star Trek Next Generation.
Okay.
There's a few times, but it's very little. I was like, all right, if you go back to classic Star Trek, Spock and Bones always at each other, like Scotty and Kirk, there was always a lot of conflict there. There just always was. And if you go into the next one, when they did Star Trek Voyager, they almost tried to overcompensate for that. It was like, wow, I think they really picked up on that too. This Next Generation had very little character conflict. I don't think it took away from the show. It was one of the most popular just shows on television was like a top 2 or 3 show.
Now, are you referring to character conflict of the crew?
Yes, amongst the crew.
Yeah, but that
Very
wasn't
little.
the whole cast. So the cast is much broader than just the crew, which there was character conflicts between some of the other cast
but not
members.
amongst the main characters,
Well,
which is
fucking
unusual.
Picard ran a tight ship, man.
Exactly. But they put you in this world of, hey, we're all cool, we're all zen. This is just how we are now. And then number 2, he says, is he hated the holodeck. And I was like, hated the holodeck? The holodeck was the coolest thing ever. But he said every fucking show that involved the holodeck was a goddamn malfunction that fucked up their ship. And I was like, all right, you got a good point. He's like, all that thing did was cause them fucking problems. They should have shut it down after season 2. I was like, yeah, but it was great storylines. He's like, but it's stupid.
You could attest that for the 1,000 times the holodeck worked great, which doesn't make a episode worthy attention to, so to show Picard fucking riding a horse in the middle of the woods in the holodeck.
Absolutely.
It doesn't make any sense. It only makes sense when it bleeds into reality of the ship. This is kind of a stretch, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Only when there's a problem does it become a story.
Yeah,
So
understood, or why have it? I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Trust me. And then number 3, he said the acting's bad. I'm like, all of Star Trek acting is bad. It's supposed to be bad. I mean, there are a couple good actors, and I'm gonna admit the Next Generation actors overall not good actors.
Yeah, I know.
The Jonathan Frakes. Man, I love you. I doubt you're listening to this podcast, but brah, you are not a good
what
actor.
did he play?
William T. Riker.
Number 1?
Number 1.
Number 2.
Number 2,
Number
yes.
2?
No, well, he calls him number 1. Number 2. That's from...
Yeah.
Is that Austin Powers?
That's from Austin Powers. Picard... Damn, I just lost what his actual name was. Sir Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
He's a pretty good actor.
He's remarkable.
LeVar Burton, who plays Geordie LaForge.
Reading Rainbow.
The Reading Rainbow. He's a pretty good actor, but the rest of them are average or below average actors. But I always thought that was kind of some of the charm of the show. Like when I rewatch it here and there, my wife makes hardcore fun of me for watching that show. She's like, this shit is so bad. How do you watch this? I was like, I don't know. I grew up with it. I love it. It's fucking, I get into Star Trek Next
Kindred
Generation.
spirits here.
So much. Okay, so have I only done 2 so far?
You tangented hardcore, yeah.
This show's gonna really go a long time. All right, so that was only number 2.
Your show
number
is
9.
gonna last longer than the 7 seasons of Star Trek.
That was number 9. Clues, season 4, episode 14. Okay, number 8. Peak performance. For a very long time, as a younger kid, this was a season 2, episode 21. Peak performance. This was my favorite episode for a long time. It's no longer my number 1, but I do absolutely love it. And instead of reading these fucking copy and pastes I did from Wikipedia, fuck that. I got this, right?
All right.
I got this.
You're gonna wing
shit.
it?
I'm gonna just wing it.
You know what you're gonna do?
Yeah, there you go. So peak performance, bottom line, a gentleman, I'll see if I can maybe even look up what kind of, let's see here. A renowned Zach Dorn. He was a Zach Dorn. This guy comes on, an alien. Strategist named Sirna
I thought that was his
Kohlrami.
name. Zach. Last name Dorn.
Zach Dorn.
That's what I thought.
That's like Michael Dorn. Who's Michael Dorn?
Worf.
Yes, very good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm impressed.
Wow, it's a good thing Adam's here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Shatner panties has still got me fucking crying.
You know what it was? Josh's technical difficulties were actually he saw this was about Star Trek and said, fuck it, I got technical difficulties. I don't want to be here.
I need a Revenge of the Nerds button on here for us.
Oh, shit. So he's a Zach Dorn. He comes onto the ship and he's supposed to help them prepare for battle through simulation. So they orbit this planet. Let's see if they say what the name of the planet is.
Space battle or hand-to-hand combat?
No, space.
Space
like
battle.
ship to
Okay.
ship. And they have this old, maybe looks like 40, 50-year-old ship that they're going to have. Riker is going to go command with a small crew and do these battle simulations. And Picard's going to command the Enterprise, of course. Now I'm trying to remember who he brings. See, Riker, he takes Wesley Crusher. He takes Worf. I'm trying to remember who else. I think Data stays on with Picard.
You never want to get picked last.
No, exactly. Shirts and skins. So Riker has skins and Picard has shirts now.
Please tell me Troy got skins.
Oh God, I wish she is nude in a couple things, not in Star Trek. Yes, you can look up Marina Sirtis nudity. She's got some couple nude scenes.
I'm
going to
be paying attention to Discord for the next couple of minutes.
Okay.
Wink. Wink.
Sure. Man.
Wait, what's her name again?
So they send Riker over there with Worf and a couple others to prepare. So there's a little subplot on this one I like. This Zach Dorn is world-renowned #1 all-time player in a game called Stratagema. So Stratagema is a 1-to-1. It's like a video game. It's almost like a futuristic board game. Adam, are you listening? Are you looking at Marina Sirtis?
Let me pick up my jaw.
Are you seeing them?
God damn! Is this like a holodeck game or something?
It's
no, it's not a holodeck game. So, do you know, Josh, and you probably do, Adam? Do you know what 10 Ford is? 10 Ford was Whoopi Goldberg's.
Yeah, that's the lounge.
Their lounge. So it was like the lounge where they said they sat around and drank. What did they drink, Adam?
Oh,
what's it called? The fake alcohol was called
Synthahol.
Synthahol. Josh, did you know that?
Yeah, he just got to it before I did. That's all right.
So they sit around drinking Synthahol, having, a snack, whatever. And so imagine two people facing off across like a small table. Then imagine like a virtual kind of screen, almost like a two-dimensional screen you can see through, but it rotates. And what it is it's got it's a square. It's like, imagine a chess or checkerboard, right? Digital though, upright, not flat down. So, upright. So it's like facing you, rotating, and there's 100 points on it with all these like little moving dots or arrows, if you will. Then they put on, so it's like virtual reality. They put these gloves on you, or not gloves, these little points on each one of your fingers. So 10 points, one on each finger, and you move all of the little pieces around with your fingers, and the idea is to move them in a certain way to move on to the next board. And it seems like, the rules are a little, I'm sure somebody probably has some Star Trek canon or maybe even some lore, if you will, about what the actual rules are. But it seems like if you can stay within a certain amount of your opponent, you guys will keep moving on to the next level as it gets harder and harder together. But if your opponent beats you by a certain amount, the game's over. He won. So this guy's a #1 renowned, right? He's the best. No one can beat me. I'll fucking crush everybody at this game. Like, he's got a real cocky attitude, this Zach Dorn. So Dr. Pulaski, okay, more Star Trek lore. Season 2 had a different doctor. It did not have Dr. Crusher. It had Pulaski. They put her on there because they wanted to create like some kind of maybe relationship with Picard and her. I guess it never materialized. Of course, they're writing it, so just fucking write it. I don't get it. But anyway, it never materialized, and she was only on for the one season. But she wanted Data to play this Zach Dorn because she thought, oh, Data will fucking crush this guy. He's an android. He'll crush him. So they play, and this guy fucking destroys Data in like a minute. It was done in like 30 seconds. It was over. Like, killed him. And then Riker actually played him first, and Riker was done in like 5 seconds. So there was that little side story there. It was interesting. Then Data was convinced that something was wrong with him, and he needed to check everything. So he was kind of like, took himself off of duty for a while, and Picard had to bring him back and blah, 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 so they could do this whole exercise. All right, so let's fast forward to the exercise. Wesley Crusher cheated. He was part of the team. He had this experiment that had something to do with warp drive, and he pretended like he needed to go back to the ship, because when they got to the ship, LeVar Burton was there too, Geordi. When they got to that other ship, it was not possible to have any warp drive. They had rendered it warp incapable. Well, Wesley has this idea, wait a minute, I've got this experiment that could probably help us. I'm going to go pretend like I need to shut it down, and I'm going to beam it into the ship. Like, he totally cheated. So he beams it into the ship to give that ship warp capability. Well, they're fighting each other. All of a sudden, a Ferengi comes and is attacking them.
Like,
right?
For real.
A real Ferengi. They didn't think it was real at first because Klingons do something in battle called guile. So they'll trick the other ship's sensors to make them think they're being attacked by something. He had made the Enterprise think it was being attacked by a Romulan, and it was just fake. It was a fake Romulan. So this time they thought it was fake too, and it wasn't. It was real. So then they used this whole warp drive in the Guile because they didn't understand. The Ferengis didn't understand. Why are you attacking your own ship? There must be something valuable. We want it. Ferengis are just greedy little bastards. And you were about to say something.
No. I was just saying that the Ferengi and the Romulans are two different races of intergalactic species.
Ferengis
in the Star Trek universe.
Again,
you're okay.
I cannot
You're
help
fine.
it. Yeah, Ferengis. Ferengis are only in Star Trek Next
Look,
Generation.
Ron, if the
and
listener is
Deep Space Nine, maybe.
if the listener is this deep into the episode,
oh yeah, they're a Star Trek fan.
They're either a Star Trek fan or they just love you that much.
Like you said, this episode's either going to have 20 listens or 20,000. There's not going to be anything in between. Oh, totally nerdy.
This episode is what takes Twisted 10 to the next level.
The next level down.
But every show from here on out has to be about Star Trek.
So
we're
they
completely changing the theme.
So they want the you remember
Do I get a vote? Hang on.
Yeah. So the Enterprise's weapons are offline. The other ship, I don't remember what it was called. Let's see if they even say it in here what the ship is called. Yeah, I don't know.
The Nebuchadnezzar.
Perfect. The Nebuchadnezzar. Nice.
You get that reference?
Bringing it back.
It sounds familiar.
Josh gets that reference.
The after show.
There you,
the after
there
show.
you go.
Oh, okay.
That's the Matrix.
Oh, yes. Gotcha. So, here's a little trick. They're going to use Guile, right? That Worf can do, and they're going to send 2 photon torpedoes, right, to that other ship, and using Guile going to make it look like it exploded, and then that other ship is going to use their limited warp capability that they had. That this guy said, Zach Dorn said, no, it's impossible. We rendered that ship warp incapable. And then, Picard was saying to the guy, I told you Riker was good, because he thought that this guy thought Riker was garbage. He didn't know why he picked him. He thought it was like he would suck at it. So they send the photons. The Guile makes it look like they exploded the ship, but they just took off. And the Ferengi just take off and say, these fucking people are nuts. We're out. Oh, yeah. Then they use more Guile to say that there was like either Klingons or Romulans, or no, more Federation ships approaching. So the Ferengis got out of there. And that was the show. There you go.
Cool.
I did that off all
That's
my...
War Games right there.
Yeah, it was War Games. That's exactly what it was. All right, you guys ready for number 7?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I love this one.
You have all of these,
USS
right?
Hathaway, by the way.
Yeah, yes, the USS Hathaway. Good job.
That's T in Discord.
Good job. Oh, wow, look at that.
T's loving this episode. This is his jam.
I know, this is his jam. He's going to be the one download. The nth. All right, number 7, the nth degree. Season 4, episode 19. All right, I want to make sure I've got it right. Oh, perfect. Okay, there's a character in Star Trek that's in just a handful of episodes. Lieutenant Barkley. Are you familiar with this episode? Or with this character? Adam.
I think so. Is he the kind of nerdy looking?
Yes, he's like
I
kind
know
of
who
awkward.
This is.
He doesn't really necessarily...
His character was written to be kind of the
100%
sore thumb of the cast.
He
or
was.
the crew.
He totally
Yeah.
sore thumb. He was awkward socially. He was total lack of confidence in what he was doing. Wasn't really Enterprise material. Geordi wanted to get rid of him, but they were like, well, if you really want to be a leader, you got to ship this guy. In fact, they even called him in the first episode, they used to call him Mr. Broccoli. And they would say that. And when
burn.
They were all tied. No, that's a Star Trek burn right there. And they were all sitting around the table. They called him that. And then Picard's like, that name ends right here. And then when he first meets him, Picard goes, nice to meet you, Mr. Broccoli. I mean, Barkley. It was a good little piece of comedy there.
Was that your Picard, by the way?
It's bad. I know.
All right, just checking.
It's bad. It's much better than my Shatner impersonation.
Shatner panties. I am not going to not stop laughing at Shatner panties.
My Shatner panties impersonation. It's so bad. You know who does a good Shatner? Kevin Pollak. He does a comedy way back in the day. He did a lot of stand-up. He did an amazing Shatner. He's a good impressionist in general. So where was I in this story? Oh, yes. Barkley. So this is not the first Barkley episode. This is 1 or 2 episodes, probably like his 3rd episode. He goes with Geordi to go check out this probe on this big array. I don't know what this array did, but this big array, it had like knocked out the power of this array. It wasn't kicking out any more data. You know what I mean? So this probe hits the shuttlecraft, and all of a sudden Barkley's like knocked out on the floor. They go to the back to the Enterprise. They check him out. Everything seemed fine and seemed pretty normal, but almost the moment he came back, there was something different and odd about him. Like something wasn't right. There was
I know this episode. I know exactly where you're going with this now.
Okay, you remember this episode. And as time is going on, all of a sudden he's getting way smarter.
Yeah.
Like ridiculously smarter. It's growing slower and slower. You know, more and more slowly he's growing. And he's growing like confidence. He's getting cocky. He's getting downright fucking arrogant. And then all of a sudden...
He's slowly turning into Josh Wilson. No? Can I make that joke? You're not here, Josh.
Yeah.
Man. You just got to it before I did.
Yeah.
Is what happened.
And yes, he's turning into Josh Wilson in the confidence and cockiness, but, you know, Josh
way smarter?
No, yeah, way smarter than Josh. See what happens when you're not actually here? You know, you can't give us the dad eyes.
Oh, that's right. That is what we're missing tonight.
Yes.
Things are out of control.
Yeah.
Or he could hop on the webcam and only have the camera focused on his eyes. So he would just look at the camera and it would show up on our screen. That'd
just mean eyes all
be
night
creepy.
long.
So bottom line, what Barkley and Mr. Broccoli, what Barkley ends up doing is he goes into the holodeck and he builds this machine that can accelerate the ship. And he does it and he connects himself to it neurologically. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he actually has himself connected to this machine.
There's wires coming out of it.
Yeah, like, well, not wires, but just pieces. And he's like completely connected and this machine is connected to the computer. He has total 100% control of the computer. He creates this like wormhole, right? And sends the Enterprise through it. He cannot stop. Then all of a sudden they're, I don't know, in like another damn universe. Who knows? And the whole point of this was these aliens from that probe did this and made him this smart so he would do this one thing, send the Enterprise to them, because this is how they explore the universe. They don't go out and explore the universe. They bring everything to them to explore.
And it's all a shared experience with them, right?
It was they were totally...
So they're learning.
Good. They were awesome people. They were explorers, everything like that, and this is how they do it. So they just exchange information and take off. That was the whole point. But I guess what makes it one of my favorite shows is I always liked that character, Mr. Barkley. I always just thought he was a fun character. It was kind of odd. And to watch him go from the nerdy, you know, not confident guy to... Yeah, and he was hitting on Deanna Troi, on Counselor Troi, and too. Like,
I thought there was a sexual element to it where he became like a...
Oh, yeah, he got a little suave with her and asked her to... Yeah, he put some moves on her a little bit, you know, made a pass at her and stuff like that. And it was just interesting. I just like the evolution of that character in the show. So that's why it's my number 7.
Nice.
All right, you guys ready for number 6?
Hell yeah,
Before we get to the break? All good things. So when you say all good things what? What does that expression usually end with?
Come to an end?
Yes. This is the final,
for sure. Yeah.
Final episode, or episodes, if you will. All Good Things, Season 7, Episode 25 and 26. It is the final episodes of Star Trek. So this, let's see, and doing this one from memory is tough. This is a complicated episode. Many shows have fucking dog shit final episodes.
Yeah, agreed. Like
How I Met Your Mother, Seinfeld.
I hated How I
Met Your Mother.
Oh, that was rough.
I heard The Sopranos. It wasn't good. I haven't gotten there yet because I'm still watching that. Believe it or not, I know I'm a little behind. Is the new one out yet? No, I was kidding. I'm a little behind in that. So many. Star Trek is not that. Star Trek's final episode is one of the absolute best episodes of the series.
It could have easily just been a movie.
Could have just been a little movie. And it would have been better than most of the Star Trek Next Generation movies.
Yes, that's true.
Because most of them were dog shit except for First Contact. So bottom line, it's a Q. And the Q, for those that are still with us that know nothing about Star Trek, for Josh. So the Q is an omnipotent being or race of being. So it's the Q continuum. right, is this race of omnipotent beings. They can do anything.
They're gods.
They are beyond gods, right? Yeah. And the Q is played by this actor John Delancey. He's in the first episode. In the first episode, for Encounter at Farpoint Station, he pretty much puts the Star Trek or the Enterprise crew on trial for the crimes of humanity throughout their entire existence.
Yeah.
And they have to figure out this puzzle, right? And I'm just a quick brief overview of it is the puzzle or the mystery of Farpoint Station. And I won't get into all the details, but that's the puzzle they have to solve. Well, guess what? It turns out in this, he says, guess what? Remember that trial I said that you had passed? The trial never ended. Here you are again. And the whole thing on this is very interesting. In this show, Picard is bouncing back and forth from like the past, the present, and the future. And he keeps just getting bounced back and forth by the Q, past, present, future. Well, in the future, he has this disease called, damn it, I can't remember. It's some kind of neurological disease.
Irony, you can't remember.
I can't remember it.
Disease
that causes, brain deterioration.
Did you go through a wormhole recently?
I'm sorry?
Did you go through a wormhole recently,
yeah,
Josh?
I did. So he has this, I wonder if it's on my little list here about this disease he has, but I can't remember. He has in the future some disease, so they're listening to this nonsensicalness that he's in the future, he's no longer, he's way past being, it's kind of like he is now on Star Trek Picard, that show Star Trek Picard.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's so good. And they're doing a season 2 and 3. It's been launched for an season 3. Season 2 is going to have the Q. So,
really?
Yes. I
Same
don't know.
actor? Delancey coming back?
Yeah, Delancey's coming
really?
back.
That's cool.
Season 1 had Riker and a couple others. Had Data, had a few others. So, anyway.
Oh, an old android. Ooh, I bet he was aging pretty good in that.
They did decent makeup with it.
All right.
And it wasn't, I feel like they could have done better. They did the best they could.
Yeah.
they did the best they could. Anyway, in the future, he's got this, I can't remember what it's called, it's a neurological disease, so they think he's crazy and nuts. And he has to go to some point in space. Ooh. He's got to get to some, what's up?
Forgive this pronunciation, Irumodic syndrome.
Yeah, something like that.
That is
yeah.
T chiming in again.
T chiming in. Good job, T. So he's got this, and so in the future, they're not sure if they believe him. They'll say, F it. If he wants to go on one last journey, we're going to take Picard on one last journey. His ex-wife, not Wesley Crusher.
Hey, they're progressive.
Hey, it's progressive.
It's the future. It's 26th century.
So his ex-wife, Dr. Crusher, I guess in the future, she's his ex-wife. She's on a medical ship. She gets passage to this one area that's hard to go to, only because Worf, who's no longer, in the Federation anymore in the future, he's part of the Klingons.
Another race, by the way.
Yes, another race.
Klingons. Wasn't he always part of the Klingons?
Well, he's always been a Klingon, but he was a Federation, a Starfleet officer.
An officer, yeah.
But now he's no longer a Starfleet officer. So they led him to this one spot.
Okay.
He said, fuck this shit, I'm going home.
There's a spot in space, right, where in the present, it's a certain size. It's like a disruption in the space-time continuum. And it's kind of a decent size in the present.
You're talking like a black hole?
Yeah, but it kind of looks like some kind of star.
Okay.
In the future, it's not even there. And then in the past, it's much larger. And then Q takes them way to the past, like 4 billion years ago to Earth's past. And it's so big you can see it from Earth, even though it's like at the center of the universe or center of the galaxy or somewhere like that. And the bottom line is it goes bigger in the past than in the future because it's a fission in the space-time continuum. And he's got to try and maneuver everybody in all the different times as he bounces back and forth to get everybody into this one spot to do something, to fix the problem. So it's just like this weird space-time continuum puzzle that another puzzle to kind of, save humanity, that puts him through. But part of what he's doing is actually causing the problem. So Q's really fucking with him. So it was good. It was a 2-hour-long episode, awesome episode, or episodes, if you will. One of my favorites for sure. That was number 6.
Does he save the day at the end of the day, or do you not want to give that one away as a spoiler?
Are you here? Do you see us doing this podcast? Clearly, he saved the day.
God damn it.
Yes, he saved the day. God, I feel like I'm just rambling on about my own, jerking off to Star Trek.
No, that's fine. That's going to be the show title.
Jerking off
to Star Trek.
Yes, I love it.
Dude, I'm loving it. So it's for the non-Star Trekky fans out there.
Who are not listening.
Well, no, there's still some, there's still some benefits to the show because we are referencing some things. The best joke I think of all time has been told during this episode, which is Shatner panties. So that is.
Wait, no music.
Oh no!
Stop.
You don't want the music? Okay.
No, I don't want the music. We have some stuff to talk about before we go to our break.
My bad.
Right?
So I recently went on Manscaped and I looked up what our discount code actually gets you as a discount.
Oh, I thought you were going to say what our discount code is. We've been saying the wrong code.
It's actually Picard's balls.
It is, the 20% off and free worldwide shipping, as we've been saying. But I went, what does that equate to? So I went to the top of the line because one of our council members told me they ordered the performance package, which is like the Cadillac package. It has everything. They're giving away shorts right now with the two, or shorts, underwear with it, and they're awesome.
I have a pair of those underwear, dude. Those things are the shit. I want
that material is super soft.
Oh yeah, they kind of hug the nuts, man. I'm not blowing up their spot because I want to. They are very comfortable. It's my favorite pair of underwear.
Nug the huts.
I'll go like 4 days with them. I'm just saying.
I hope they send us another swag box with some boxers so I can steal them.
You can borrow mine.
I'll swipe. Whoa.
You don't want your boys down there?
Seinfeld. They may fit Josh a little better, Ron.
Oh, because they're way smaller?
Oh.
They don't fit me at all.
Sorry, Josh. Continue, buddy. I'm sorry.
You're good. It ends up being on that one. It's $24. It's right about $24. That's saved.
Oh, when you buy the full pack?
Yeah, with our code against the performance package.
Oh, a $24 savings. Oh, holy
saved.
shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, but it's got, so that pack has the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker 4.0. It has, I closed the tab out, man. But it's got the boxers right now. Yeah, man, I got to pull the site up to get all the pieces for it, but yeah, it's everything. It's like all the things that they have. It's 3 of their different, the Crop Reviver, the Crop, the Ball Toner, and then the other one.
Nice.
Yeah.
So not only am I a, sponsor for the fine products from Manscaped, I'm also a customer. Yeah. I ordered, I get every 3 months I get a quarterly, bundle. I don't remember the name of the bundle, but it has the crop mops, the shampoo and conditioner and body wash and those things. I order that. I don't get the groomers, like the scissors or the lawnmower, but I get all the other products like the lotions and shit like that.
Do you think they trim their balls in the 24th century?
I think it's all like laser precision, like they just beam their ball hair off.
Do you think the lawnmower 45.0 is like just some like laser removal thing? Is that what it is?
I think they just beam off the ball hair.
It just but definitely they still have Manscaped then.
Oh yes,
yeah, they
all
have
robot that does it in your sleep.
Yeah, but do you think they call it Manscaped or do they have to call it Personscaped because it's all progressive and shit?
I want you to think of this image as we go into.
It's all about nice balls.
I want you to think of this image as we go into the break, okay? I want you to pretend that these other species exist all over the universe. I want you to pretend that Klingons exist. Now I want you to think about the amount of hair that's on Worf's balls.
Pretty cool.
All right.
I think he trims it with a batleth.
We'll be right back after the break, guys. Listen to a little bit of True Phonic coming back with a top 10 of Ron's favorite Star Trek Next Generation stories. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
You never try if you have to, but you can't survive if they will let you. Will you hide away in a bedroom? Is that really just what you used to? Oh, so you're putting some pictures, trying to make it a home, but it's a homely home if you're eating alone. You find yourself waiting on the ring of the phone, swearing to yourself that you're finding your own. question, searching for your direction. But though you're reaching out to someone, only see your own reflection. Oh, still putting no pictures, trying to make it a home, but it's a home really a home if you're sleeping alone. You find yourself waking on the ring of the phone and swearing to yourself that you're finding your own. Come on. Oh, it's such a lonely world, a world of inequality. Are we searching for a cure? Are we choosing to ignore? We're seeing more, hey, misery. So I'm a Branson. No, I've never been a man for gambling. Only I decide my fate. No, I'm sure nothing will ever change. Oh, so I'm taking down the pictures of my so-called home, where I was sure I would spend my whole life alone. Ain't nobody on the other end of the phone, but my misery is slowly turning into a song. Yeah. Oh, it's such a lonely world, a world of inequality. Well, are we searching for a cure? Well, are we choosing to ignore? We're seeing more, hey, misery.
The Twisted 10. Twisted Trek 10. Because that's what we're doing tonight. Ron has brought us a very niche list.
Is it niche or niche?
I think both are appropriate.
Oh, another, in the during the break, we were talking about words that you had two pronunciations.
Yeah, two
like
different.
GIF and GIF, coupon and coupon, and I guess niche or niche.
Niche. There's also niche or niche.
I know it was niche.
Niche? So there's three.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's how I say it, yeah. It's like a niche topic.
That could be the top 10 most boring things that sound slightly different but mean the same thing.
Yeah, that list
right.
would really suck.
Ron, give us
not as bad as this list, but almost.
This list is great, but it's very, like we were saying, it's very niche, and you have to really appreciate Star Trek. But the thing is, we're Star Trek fans that don't normally ever search for Twisted 10 or top 10 list shows might find us because of this list.
I just think it's interesting on the day, and I know we haven't discussed this, so a little behind the scenes. On the day I said to you guys, how about I start doing more lists and give you guys some breaks, kind of pretty much.
Oh, you kick it off with a Star Trek?
Kick it off with this fucking boring ass list.
It's not boring, I'm telling you. It's not boring. Josh, I wish you could see Ron's eyes when he covers these topics, and especially when he starts to do when he fucking.
Oh yeah, when I
ad-libs it.
decided like 2 or 3 through, fuck reading these things. I don't need them.
He is more into this list than I've ever seen him be into a list before. This is
even
his
more than
list.
paleoanthropology.
I want to say yes. You're more excited about this than you are about paleoanthropology. Yes, you're more of a Trekkie than you are a paleo. What do you call paleoanthropologists? Paleoanthropologists.
I think you just answered your own question.
Damn it! All right, do us a favor. Recap. I don't know how you would recap that, but recap.
I'm gonna just recap the
10-6.
episode name.
Okay.
All right, number 10, Where No One Has Gone Before. That was the one with the traveler. Number 9, Clues. That was the one where they thought they were knocked out for 30 seconds, but it was a full day.
Sorry,
Nice.
had to.
Number 8, Peak Performance. That was the War Games episode. Number 7, Nth Degree. That was the one where Mr. Barkley got super smart. And number 6, All Good Things. That was the final episode of the series. Okay, after that.
Oh,
all right.
by the way, we did listen. Our council members, we do hang out with in Discord between the halves of the show, the first and second half. And some of our council members clued us in to William Shatner actually has performed songs many times. And so we were listening to a couple of William Shatner's covers during the break. Not good. I mean, it's Shatner talking. It's like what do you call it? Spoken voice, but to music that you recognize in the lyrics.
Like haiku
you know.
bullshit. No, he was doing Gnarls Barkley. He did Total Eclipse of the Heart. That's all we heard.
There's a Bohemian Rhapsody apparently with him somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. So I'll have to go
cool.
look for it.
Do you know Spock did a little bit of singing back in the day? He had
Spock has a voice that I think would be pretty good.
Well, he had some really like
Spock, Leonard
campy type shit that was Star Trek related. But then there's this one song back. It's an 80s or 90s song. I think a late 80s song. I'm going to sing it. Am I allowed to sing it? If I'm singing it,
Yeah,
we don't
of
get
course.
named for that. Okay. It's not like it's going to sound close to the original.
Oh, wait. All right. Let's. God, I wish I had the echo. I'd turn
All right.
on,
So
I'd give
here's
you
the
some
song.
echo.
I want to know what you're thinking. There are something. Okay. You got it now?
Oh,
All
no,
right.
keep going.
You
I was getting
can
into it.
hide.
You have a great
but
voice.
There's part of it where it goes, dun, dun.
Oh, you
Dun,
want me to be?
dun,
You
dun,
want me to
dun,
beatbox?
pure energy. Dun. That pure energy is actually that's actually Spock.
Really?
Yes, that's
pure
pure energy. So if you go and listen to that,
Pure energy. Are they pulling was that an audio clip they pulled and then inserted into the song? like a
correct,
mix?
but with permission of Star Trek and Leonard Nimoy.
That's cool.
I just thought I'd throw that out there.
You need to sing more often on the show, Ron. Your voice is really good.
Oh, thanks. Maybe that's some after show stuff. I'll just sing some songs.
I like it.
That's around the campfire. All right, you guys. Oh wait, before we talk about that, I know because normally this comes up a lot, but we didn't talk about it much today. Just wanted to throw out there. We do have additional content, after show content we've mentioned a couple of times. If you go to twisted10.com, you can find out how to get in that content. And also you will hear, which we have kept a nice secret, still keeping a secret on the regular show, the results of my DNA test.
Is Ron Native American or not?
Yes.
Find out on the after show. Well, how
Find
long are
out.
we going to go before we let that?
I'm never
nugget-
telling. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
No,
No,
I'll tell eventually.
Never.
We gotta-
Total secret forever.
Got to let that nugget of knowledge out because Ron could legitimately be inheriting quite a bit of lucrative income from his Native American heritage or not, or it could be all hokum. And
There was still some surprises in there for me. Like the amount of Irish I had was actually surprising.
yeah, that's
I've
true.
been working on the Irish accent a lot. How does it be sounding?
It's better than your other ones you've done. I'll give you that. That one has
better
some
than
balls.
my Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, which you did it perfect
It would
too.
be making sense because I be Irish.
Can you do an Arnold Schwarzenegger
Irish
Irishman?
accent? I'll be back, laddie. Just stay right here.
No, that was horrible.
No?
That was like the little guy on the Lucky Charms box. That was
Come with me if you want to live, laddie.
say get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. That's horrible.
Get to the chopper.
That is so bad.
All right.
Oh, God. Where did you come up with this idea?
I don't know. I like it though.
It was fun. It was fun. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Number 5. Okay. So I kind of cheated in this list. Here's the twist. 1, 2, 3, 4 of these 10 are actually 2-part episodes.
Oh,
so I really
that's okay.
have 14 episodes in this 10 episode one. And the first one we did was the All Good Things.
Nice.
That's considered 2 episodes. Although I always just consider that one. It's considered 2 episodes. I don't recall when it originally aired, whether it was aired 2 separate weeks or not. I don't think it was. I think they just did it all one night.
I do know that we're going to get out of this list because it's topical, and we talked about this with our folks in Discord. We're going to get some listeners that have never heard the Twisted 10 before, ever.
For sure, yeah.
And because you're coming here to listen to the Star Trek episode. So if you are that person and you like the show enough, that one guy,
welcome.
Yeah. Hi, Vern. No, if you're a listener that has come to us,
I would laugh if his name is actually Vern.
If you come to us because of the content and you liked it enough, you like the hosts enough to stay and hop in Discord, let us know, because I would love, that'd be a really fucking cool story to hear that we reached a new audience member,
you know what? It would
because
be
of the
awesome.
topic.
How should they go to us? Should they just go to twistedten.com?
Just go to twistedten.com and then click on the Discord
link. I would like
link
to hear every single person who would like to go to twistedten.com send us an email and tell us what episode brought you to this show.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I would just like to know
That
which
would be
one
cool.
brought you
Just to
into.
everybody. Yeah, show at twistedten.com.
We're going to get several.
Oh, yeah,
show at
just
twistedten.com.
straight to the email. Yeah, show at twistedten.com.
And then we're going to get some from Hysteria 51, from some of our crossover episodes, like with Fish Nerds and with
We got some bunk funkers.
Yeah, bunk funkers that are in here.
I think
Yeah,
one we
for sure.
talked about was the Deathbed Confessions. We seem to hit a
Dude,
little
that one
nerve
was
with that
huge.
one
Yeah.
for some reason. So
Yeah,
probably there'll be a few
think
for that.
I think we got we trended on Spotify there for a second, and that was a couple of really good days. That was cool.
Yep. All right, you guys ready? Number 5?
Let's do it.
The Best of Both Worlds. This is an extremely famous episode or episodes. It was season 3, episode 26, and season 4, episode 1. So you imagine it's a 2-part episode, but they spread it out. End of one season, beginning of another, so you had to wait months.
It's a wraparound. That's to make sure that they got funding for the next season.
They did that several seasons, by the way. They did that several seasons where they split a show, and they did it at the end of one and the beginning of another.
I remember being a kid watching Star Trek The Next Generation, and for the first time as a child, I was mad at the TV programming because the To Be Continued showed up.
Yes, that was always a frustrating thing when I watched Star Trek Live, because it was like, damn it.
Yep.
Yeah, and they had several. Most of their good stuff. So number 6 was a 2-parter. Number 5 is a 2-parter. Number 4 is a 2-parter, and number 2 is a 2-parter. I mean, that was some of their best episodes, were the 2-part episodes for sure. So the Best of Both Worlds, I'm just going to sum it up real quick so everybody would know. This is the one where Picard becomes Locutus of Borg.
Okay.
All right, so obviously, Borg
isn't, well, you got
so
we did,
and you asked me this question, and I remember now that I did not put the original Borg discovery, which was somewhere in season 2 or 3. The Q decided, I'm going to send these guys to see what they're really in store for out there. So he, pushes the ship into where the Borg are. Now, Guinan, played by Whoopi Goldberg, she was there on the ship. We never really know the past and what her connection was with Picard, but they have some kind of connection that goes beyond
Starfleet.
friendship. Beyond Starfleet, beyond friendship, and don't know that it was ever romantic or sexual in nature. But they
never took it that way.
Oh
yeah.
no, they definitely indicate that relationship. She
Really?
says herself is beyond a professional and beyond friendship. She says that herself about her and the connection she has with Picard.
She was getting down on a little captain a little
Guinan's
bit.
species, and I don't remember the name of her species, she has some kind of she has some kind of knack that where her perception goes beyond linear time. We'll get into that into number 3, by the way. But anyway, her species know the Borg already. They know what the Borg are. So when they first encounter the Borg, she's helping them because her species had been in this part of the quadrant and this quadrant of the galaxy, and she knew. So Q sends them in there. But anyway, this one is when when the Borg, they decide to come for the Federation. They know the Federation is there. They, because thanks to the Q, or they wouldn't have known. And they're going to go after the Federation and pretty much try to go to Sector 1. Now, what is Sector 1, Adam?
I don't remember.
Sector 1 is where Earth is.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they're going to try and get there. So their grand scheme is to get on the Enterprise and kidnap Captain Picard and make him part of the Continuum. So if you don't know what the Borg are, they are a hive mind, is the best way I can describe it. They have they capture people, if you will, and put them into the collective. So they're biomechanical. Is that a correct way to do it? Where they're partial living tissue and human, and partial
there is a term for it. I don't think it's biomechanical.
Computer, robot, and I don't know what you would call it. But so they're like half human and half robot, if you will.
Half biological, regardless of species. What, Josh?
I might have one here. Is this where like 7 of 9 comes in?
7 of 9 is isn't that one from is that Voyager or Enterprise? Yeah, that's from Voyager.
Species.
Yeah, so that's 7 of 9. She's actually in Star Trek Picard too. By the way,
she used to be a Borg, right? That's where her character came from.
Yes, she is a former Borg.
But their species is half.
It's like the only Star Trek thing I know.
And she's the hottest. She's hotter than Troy.
See, I thought Jolene Blaylock, who played the Vulcan from Star Trek Enterprise, was super fucking hot.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah,
the Borg though are half biological, so they're half like meat, flesh. And then half artificial intelligence, robotic android, whatever.
But they're all connected together.
Yeah, they all share a consciousness.
Yeah, they all share a consciousness, and they're all part of a collective. So
cybernetic. Yes.
Cybernetic.
Hitman with the save.
Nice. So they're cybernetic
and cyborg.
Beings.
Yeah.
So they're all kinds of different species of humanoid, if you will. So they're made up of whatever species of humanoid they kidnapped and put into their collective. So it could be anything. It could be a Romulan. It could be a Klingon. It could be a Ferengi. It could be,
What if there was a Borg Q?
A Borg Q. I'd be interested. That'd be scary.
That would be very scary. Borg would be omnipresent at that point.
I guess so.
Ooh.
Maybe omnipotent Borg.
Bomnipotent.
There you go. So they kidnapped Picard and put him into the collective, but they gave him a name, which is unusual because Borg doesn't really have a name. He calls himself Locutus of
they
Borg.
don't self-identify. Yeah,
and one of the things they always say is resistance is futile.
Yeah.
The Star Trek Next Generation movies, which they made like 5 of them, most of them were dog shit. But the one that was really good was First Contact, and that was all about the Borg. So that was a really good one. Anyway, so Locutus of Borg, there you go. They decide that the way to do this is, well, if we have Picard and we have the way the Federation thinks or the human race thinks, we could definitely defeat them. Well, clearly, obviously, that because it's season 3, episode 26, season 4, episode 1, that did not work.
Yeah.
So that's just a quick summary of it. That obviously the Federation figures out how to defeat. Now it's only one ship, one big giant like cube ship that they have to defeat. But this thing can just go and wipe out planets. It's like a Death Star. If it's a square Death Star.
That's
that's a great way to describe it. The Borg ship is a square Death Star.
Yeah.
It can just wipe out planets.
It sounds way less cool.
With no metachlorians.
No metachlorians. Yeah, which makes it even less cool, right?
The lack of superpowers is always less cool.
There's a debate in I know this is Star Trek, but there's a debate in the Star Wars fandom on metachlorians being good or metachlorians being just horrible to have introduced into the Star Wars universe.
It was so stupid.
I like it.
That feels like it could be an after show topic, but that was so stupid.
I don't know enough about it. I'd like to save that as an after show topic for a future show because I'd like to read up a little bit more on how that works, how that, Yeah.
Well, it's Riker who saves the day. He has control of, or he is given the captain's chair of the Enterprise, and it's his strategy that actually helps them defeat the Borg, because he had to use strategy that Picard wouldn't know. So he had to use something unusual that Picard wouldn't, since Picard was Locutus, wouldn't see coming. They did get Picard back, obviously, and took apart all his...
He got deborged?
He got deborged. Yeah. There you go. But there's some continuation in that. The psychological effect of what that did to Picard... it messes with his brain.
He still has PTSD from it. Like,
yeah,
that's the equivalent. Yeah,
absolutely had some PTSD that even goes into that movie, The First Contact. That's absolutely, clearly, he's like off his fucking rocker because, he was Locutus. Now, there's a Star Trek Next Generation book, canon, right? If you will.
Well, it depends. If canon is not, canon is the community.
Okay, well, it's a Star Trek Next Generation book. It's just an offshoot story, right? And in that book, and it kind of always annoyed me, he decided to somehow to infiltrate the Borg. He decided to become Locutus again to infiltrate the Borg in this book. And I just hated that. I'm like, nah, if you really, really followed what that did to him psychologically, fucking Picard would have never volunteered to do that.
I agree.
Under any circumstances would he have ever volunteered to become Locutus again. So that part always kind of irked me about the book. But I mean, I still read the book. It was Star Trek, you know.
I don't know. He's a knight. It's like, he might.
There's some cool Star Trek Next Generation stuff that deals with like more some like dark, like other universe type shit. Kind of like the old classic Star Trek show. And I don't recall the name of it, where they accidentally beamed. It was, I'm going to say Chekhov. It was Chekhov, Uhura, I believe, and Shatner and Captain Kirk. They accidentally beam into another universe and go into a different Enterprise, and where everybody's like fucking mean and evil. Like there's evil Spock. Evil Spock has the beard. He's got the beard and mustache, and it's funny that makes you guys laugh, but he's got the beard and mustache. So, and then and
because it's such a cliche.
Yeah, and then evil not Riker, Kirk, Chekhov, and Uhura end up in their universe, and it's really interesting. But there's some Star Trek Next Generation stuff that actually kind of plays with that a little bit, with like the
parallel universes,
dark parallel
or
universe. There's
yeah.
some stuff, and I haven't read it, but I know that it exists. Just throwing that out.
That's
there.
cool.
Anyway, I will do a classic my top 10 favorite classic Star Treks one day. Trust me.
Next week?
No, not next
Okay.
week. That's too soon.
I was just trying to get out of another week of hosting.
All right, so there you go. So number 4, I'm just going to do every list, aren't I? That's where this is going. Number 4, Unification, season 5, episodes 7 and 8. So this is a 2-parter, but they didn't make you wait an entire off season, between seasons. So this one actually has Leonard Nimoy playing Spock, and it has the person who, and I don't remember the actor's name. Let's see if I can see.
Well, Leonard Nimoy is half Vulcan. Vulcans live a lot longer.
Oh yeah,
than
over
human.
200 years.
Yeah, there you go.
So Mark Leonard is the actor who plays Sarek, plays Spock's father even in the classic shows he was in. He played Spock's father. He was in the original movies too, some of them. But he's in a couple episodes of Next Generation, and he's in it too. But bottom line on this one is, Picard gets a message that Spock might have defected to the Romulans. Now, the Romulans are cousins of the Vulcans. So Spock is a Vulcan. Romulans, they're pointy-eared and all that. So they're like literally distant cousins, like in a different planet. And there's video of Spock, like spy video of Spock at Romulus. Romulus is obviously the planet where the Romulans are. They're like sworn enemies.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Obviously. I mean, come on. And so Picard's mission is to go to Romulus, seek out Spock, and hold on one second. That was really bad. Bad radio right there.
We should have a sponsor that you just plug for that.
We're going to plug Bang. Oh, my computer just shut off. Okay, there it goes. I thought, that's it. We're into number 4.
You're drinking a Bang at 10:30 at night?
Yeah, Josh.
What's wrong with you, you monster?
Yeah, some of us...
No, he doesn't like Monster. He likes Bang.
Yeah, I like Bang. Well, first of all, Bang is 0 calorie. But some of us have to drive 45 minutes home and don't get to just shut off the show and then go to bed and go to sleep.
I can't understand if that's a jab at me or Josh.
Well, tonight it's both of them.
Oh, okay.
But... Anyway, which episode? Oh, yeah, Unification. So Picard has to secretly go to Romulus, and which is hard because you have a treaty between the Romulans and Starfleet, and in this treaty they kind of have the space separated by something called the neutral zone. Have you ever heard of the neutral zone?
100%. Let me get this straight though before you continue. Romulans are from what planet?
Romulus.
Vulcans are from what planet?
Vulcan.
Humans are from what planet?
Earth.
Okay, just checking. Thanks.
Humanist.
We're from human.
Yeah. So what do they call Earth in Marvel? The Thor. What are they?
Oh, Terra.
Terra.
Terra, or Yeah, so Terra is another word for Earth, for our home.
There you go. Anyway, I really got off subject there.
I drove you there. Buddy.
So the way he gets there is they've asked the Klingons which is another species we've mentioned, to get them there. And here, why can the Klingons get there? Because the Klingons and the Romulans both, but the Klingons specifically have something called a cloaking device. Now, as part of the treaty.
This is very similar to the thing in Harry Potter that they wrap around their backs and go invisible,
like a cloak.
Right?
Yes, so they can make their ship invisible. Exactly.
It's a big cloak.
It's just a big giant cloak cloth, or what do they call it? Cloak robe? What do they call it in Harry Potter? Sorry, I don't know Harry Potter that well.
It's a cloak.
Just a cloak? Okay. Yeah. So they get so he goes with Data, and Picard has been surgically altered to look like a Romulan. And Data's just made up with some makeup and some ears. But I mean, he looks like a Romulan. He does a good job. So, he's clearly, except the way he moves is still kind of like an android. So they sneak off into over there to Romulus to seek out Spock to figure out, hey, the hell's going on? The whole reason Spock is there is there's a movement in Romulus for unification. There's this big movement, an underground movement, where a lot of Romulans want to end the hostilities with Vulcan and want to reunite with their distant cousins. And then it just turns out, okay, so here we go. There's a side story on this, sorry. Now, you know what? I will not tell this side story until the next one, because it connects with the next one, and I just realized it does. So I'm backing off on that side story, and I'll tell the side story in a moment.
All right.
Anyway, really, what this was ended up being a trap. The Romulans were just kind of using Spock to trap. It's a trap.
I'm going to inject as many Star Wars references as I can.
It doesn't. See, I'm a Star Wars fan too.
Yeah,
so it doesn't. The whole Star Trek versus Star Wars thing just doesn't bother me. I love them both. I think there's
agreed.
I think there's a place for both of them. A place where 1 billion people like Star Wars and 25 people like Star Trek.
Would that place be a galaxy far, far away?
Yes, absolutely.
To a place where no man has gone before?
Yeah, where no man has gone before, in a galaxy far, far away a long, long time ago. The future. In the 24th century. So they were the Romulans were just using, what am I looking? Oh,
Discord,
there you
Discord
go.
added it's a trap.
Yeah.
General
Akbar?
Is it Akbar? Yeah, I think it's
God,
Admiral Akbar.
Admiral Akbar.
Wow,
yeah.
we are fucking dorks.
Oh, we are, dude.
Nerds!
There's no question about that.
Holy shit. Anyway, so they were just using them to really attack. I think it was either Vulcan or attack Starfleet, if you will. And they got discovered and yada, yada, yada. But there was a certain person under that was in charge of that attack from Romulus, a certain Romulan. And we're actually going to get to how that Romulan came into existence in number 3.
Dude, you built your own segue into the list?
I did, and I didn't even mean to, actually.
Nice.
That was total complete accident as I was
What Ron's really doing
it.
right now is he's changing 2 and 3 around. No,
I'm actually not. I'm not.
I wrote this perfectly, except I put it in the wrong order.
Now, for a little while, and it was a dick tease for about 6 months to a year, the next Star Trek movie, and it was on IMDb, and I had seen him interviewed that he was wanted and ready to do it and had the green light to go. Quentin Tarantino was supposed to produce and direct, for his last movie, a Star Trek movie.
Really?
He's a huge Star Trek fan. No one knew what this was going to mean. No one knew if he was going to do the next one with Christopher Pine and Zachary Quinto. For those who don't know, the Star Trek movie reboot, that's who the actors are there. Or if he was going to do his own thing, was it going to be super
gory?
R-rated?
Yeah, I mean that's what he's famous for.
But what he always hinted to, all his favorite Star Trek stuff is, and he even mentions this episode in an interview one time because he loves Star Trek. He loves anything that fucks with time travel and space-time continuum. Like he loves all that shit.
Oh, cool.
So number 3, Yesterday's Enterprise. Season 3, episode 15. So the beginning of this episode has the normal Enterprise, right? Trekking along, and all of a sudden they come across this ship and they try and see what this ship is, and they don't quite identify it till all of a sudden everything switches. The Enterprise itself is completely different. Everyone's wearing like kind of battle gear. The Enterprise's Damn, what the hell? I just drew a blank. Where everybody always is in the Enterprise, like
the bridge.
Yeah, the bridge. Thank you. The bridge is completely different. It's dark. The only chair that's there is the captain's chair. Everybody else is like standing at stations. And what happens is this ship coming through causes like a rip in the space-time continuum, and it changes the present. And this ship that came through is the Enterprise C. So the Enterprise in Next Generation is D. So there was the original Enterprise. Then there was the Enterprise.
1701C.
1701. Yeah. Then there was 1701. Is it A or B? In the movie Star Trek, right? Star Trek, classic Star Trek movies. Number 3. Star Trek 3. Search for Spock.
Is it NCC 1701?
It's NCC. Yeah, 1701.
Okay.
They destroy that Enterprise. And so then they have to build another one, which they get a hold of at the end of the 4th movie. They get, I think it was 1701A. God, I hope I have that right. I don't think it's B. I'm pretty sure it's A. So that was A.
Oh, you're gonna
get
some hay mail on that.
I think it's A. So there's a B somewhere in there, and I'm sure somebody who's even Trekkier than me knows who and what B was. I have no idea. I never watched a show that had 1701B. But then there was 1701C. 1701C comes all of a sudden into the future from, 20 plus years ago. And something changed. We know it as viewers, but Picard and that whole crew, they're not aware of it. This is their reality now.
So they're not like an alternate dimension.
No,
it's their same past
Enterprise
experiences.
C,
They're just
Enterprise C. Well, everything over there. Most of their lives would have been different than what they have known.
So it's like a parallel universe Enterprise.
Enterprise C coming through into the future caused a change, and what that change ended up being is Enterprise C was responding to a distress call of to a Klingon ship or a Klingon outpost that they were under attack by Romulans, and apparently Enterprise C saved the Klingons, which started a time of peace, because in classic Star Trek, Klingons and the Federation are at war. All of classic Star Trek, they're always at war with the Klingons. They're at war with the Romulans, they're at war with the Klingons, or at odds with the Romulans, at odds and at war with the Klingons. And that there's a peacetime. And what started that peacetime was Enterprise C saving. Well, all of a sudden the Enterprise C is now in the present. They never got to save that outpost. Therefore, over the last 20 years, it's been total all-out war. Like the Starfleet, their whole job is just war with the Klingons. That's all they've been doing for 20 years. And the person who notices it, now I'm going to go back a little bit. I talked about Guinan, right? Remember I talked about Guinan?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Her species has some kind of
immunity.
Not immunity. She just has a concept of linear time that's different. She has a way to perceive if something has changed, if something's different. Like it goes beyond. Data said maybe her species has something that perception that goes beyond linear time. She knows something's not right. She can't tell you what. She can't tell you why. She can't tell you who.
She ain't much help.
But she knows something's wrong.
Is that like seeing a cat walk by and then seeing the same cat walk by again?
Yeah, there you go.
And then suddenly your windows are brick walls?
Yeah, exactly.
Just checking.
So she knows something's wrong. She tells Picard something's not right. That Enterprise, it needs to go back. He's like, no, we need that ship. It's an extra ship we need. We're close. Like, they're pretty much about to get defeated. Like, the Starfleet's about to go down to the Klingon. They're losing this war badly. A lot of people don't know they're losing this war. Well, there's a certain character, Lieutenant Yar. She appears in this season 3, episode 15. Well, in the show, she's been dead since, I don't know, around episode
4 or 5 something. Wasn't it early?
No, like 14, 15, 16,
right.
somewhere in
First
there. In an episode called The Skin of Evil. Oh, God, I'm a dork. Don't have that written down, guys. Really, just a dork. So Skin of Evil is the episode where Lieutenant Yard dies. Well, all of a sudden now in this episode, she's just there in the show. Because, right, the past has changed. She was never killed by the blob. The black blob of tar that killed her in The Skin of Evil. So now she's there. And Guinan realizes, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be dead. She's like, how am I supposed to know that? So what happens is they convince Enterprise C that they need to go back and try and save. They need to send them back through time and try and save this outpost because it could change, even if it risks their life. And they all decide, there's nothing for us here. We're going to go back. Well, Yar convinces Captain Picard to let her go back too. And he's like, that'll change time. And she's pretty much like, no, according to Guinan, I'm not even supposed to be here. And so Picard trusts Guinan immensely, even with something this strange, and sends her back. Okay. Fast forward to the Unification episode I just mentioned, right? The one before. There's an episode where they see Lieutenant Yar, right? They know Lieutenant Yar only as the person who died in season 1, right? They don't know anything about what had happened on this episode I'm talking about, Yesterday's Enterprise. See how fucked up this is?
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're looking at Lieutenant Yar with pointy ears. Like, who the fuck? This is Lieutenant Yar with pointy ears. She tells this crazy story about how the Lieutenant Yar of their time was back on Enterprise C, saves the outpost, the Romulans capture her, makes her wife, they have a kid, and this Romulan is now Lieutenant Yar's kid.
Jesus.
Yes. And she's the one in Unification that's pushing this whole, attack on the Starfleet. I know, it's really
This is like a daytime soap opera.
It kind of is.
God damn, that was deep.
Yeah, it is. They really connected a lot there. They did a lot of cool shit with that.
I remember that episode, but I don't remember that. Maybe it was too advanced for me to comprehend when I was
where
young.
Lieutenant Yar was a Romulan.
Just the whole fucking story. I remember the story. I remember seeing them all transform into black uniforms or whatever it was.
I love that episode. It's such a good episode.
Yeah, but I don't remember all of the drama and the return of the daughter, and that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, so now remember, she has to say that she has to tell them Lieutenant Yar was actually on that ship, and they're like, well, that's impossible because we know Lieutenant Yar died, and she was there ordered by you. So pretty much what all happened during that time, I mean, we're going back, let's see here, how many seasons? So Yesterday's Enterprise was season 3, episode 15. This was season 5, episode 7 and 8. So almost 2 full seasons that these overlaid over each other. So that was Yesterday's Enterprise, season 3, episode 15.
Nice.
Guys ready for number 2?
Heck yeah.
Number 2, let's do it.
Number 2 is another 2-parter. Yes. Time's Arrow. Season 5, episode 26, and season... oh boy, I really fucked this up. I've got season 5 and season 7. You had to wait 2 seasons to find out. Sorry. I hope I have this right. Season 5, episode 26, and should be season 6, episode 1. Time's Arrow. This is one of my absolute positive favorite episodes. They call the Enterprise back to Earth. They were doing an archaeological dig in old San Francisco, right? They're doing
I thought you were going to say old Sanford, Florida.
Old Sanford, Florida. In old San Francisco, they're doing an archaeological dig. They go down there and they ask the Enterprise to come and check out what they found. Well, guess what they found?
Enterprise C.
Data's head. So Data, if I haven't mentioned up to now, is the android, right? That's on the Enterprise. And it's carbon dated back to the 1800s.
Damn.
And they're like, how in the hell is this possible? So I'm going to try and make a long story short on this.
We've heard that before out of you, Ron.
Oh, yeah, I know. This is another time travel one, clearly. So bottom line, something happens where and I'm trying to, you know what? I'm gonna read a little bit of this because I think this one will describe it a little bit better. The Enterprise is recalled to Earth on a priority mission regarding evidence of aliens on the planet 500 years before. They are shown a cavern near Starfleet headquarters in San Francisco containing 19th century relics and the disembodied head of Data. Investigation reveals cellular fossils native to the planet of Davidia 2, indicating a race of shapeshifters were visiting Earth's past. Okay, so pretty much there's a portal there. You can't really see the portal with the naked eye, but they get instrumentation to receive the portal. Aliens are going back into the 1800s and kind of masking themselves in a plague.
Okay.
And feeding off the souls of humans, dead and dying humans, or not dead, dying humans.
Well, that's dark.
Pretty much eat it to feed themselves, right? So they have to go back into the 1800s, and but Data gets in there first somehow. You know, there's a cool classic Star Trek show. You know, I'll save it for when City on the Edge of Forever. Go watch it. I'll definitely put it on the list of the classic Star Treks, but I won't get into it. Which was kind of some similarities in it. But anyway, Data ends up in there first. Obviously, they have to go and follow him and find him. They end up in the old 1800s. Not the new 1800s, but the old 1800s. I'm just kidding. They end up in the 1800s in San Francisco.
It's like a parallel universe 1800s
Yeah,
here, Ron.
there you go. There you go. And trying to stop these aliens, if you will. And it's pretty cool because they add an now Guinan is there.
She's old as fuck.
No, she's there Benjamin Button style.
There you go.
She's there for real. Like apparently her species lives hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe thousands.
She really
of years.
is old as fuck.
So she's actually there. Of course, she doesn't know who Picard is. She doesn't know the Enterprise. She doesn't know any of that. It's the 1800s. But Data sees her like, oh my God, that's fucking Guinan. I'm gonna go see if she can help me figure this out. Because he knows she's got to be an alien, right? But you know who else they have on this show, which I think is really fucking cool? Mark Twain. Like, they have the Mark Twain, the person Mark Twain in this.
The author? That's cool.
Yeah, he's this fucking nosy-ass mofo who is totally getting involved in their shit the whole time. And so pretty much that's the 2 episodes is they have to save that period of Earth.
And the underlying message is that Star Trek influenced Mark Twain's writings.
There you go. That isn't actually an underlying message.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So
that influenced what his future works would be at a later point. That's cool.
So that was number 2.
We learned Guinan is old as fuck.
All right, guys, we can't do number 1 yet because it's.
Oh yeah, we got to fucking get our giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a little bit of Manscaped to give away. Some breakaway.
What are we giving away today, there, Adam?
I don't know.
It should all be lined up on the table.
Yeah, it's all out here. We finally got rid of the stuff we've already given away and separated it out.
Give it away now.
Let's see, we got some ball deodorant.
Can I eat the second half of my Milky Way I've been saving?
Go ahead, just nod it right into the mic. Maybe off mic slightly. We got some foot duster.
How's that sound?
Another foot duster.
It sounds awful. Sounds awful.
So he said foot duster.
So yeah, we got Crop Reviver, which is the ball toner.
Okay.
Which I've yet to use mine. I have a thing of this upstairs. I've yet to actually try it. Nobody's touching my balls, so that's probably why. We got, except me. I touch my balls all the time.
Do they feel firm?
I don't know. If I'm cold,
do they feel do they feel toned?
Not really. Not much of my body is toned.
You're really bad at this.
I am bad at
While you sort through that stuff, I do have to throw back to before we listened to Truphonic earlier. I had a page open with all the details on the performance package. I wanted to pull it up. So right now it is already 40% off. They have it down to $120. And then on top of that, with our 20% off, it takes $120. It's $24 off. It makes it $96. So right now that package, which is normally $230, you can get for $96. It's like everything. It's all the stuff.
Damn. That's a serious discount.
That is a big discount.
So, code Twisted10 at manscaped.com, 20% off and free worldwide shipping. So,
Josh,
what did we settle on, guys? What are we giving away?
So, I got a question for you. Kim was one of our winners from a few weeks back, and she is a friend of ours. It wasn't rigged, honest. And she happened to be in studio with us, helping us to host a show.
Not when she won, just
no. Yeah, no, she won way before that. She won the refined cologne. Now, did she take that with her? Or
yes,
she did. So this is a second.
We had 2.
Correct.
We're giving away another cologne tonight.
All right.
I'm picking the cologne. So tonight is going to be the Manscaped refined cologne. It's a 50 milliliter bottle.
And if she didn't take it, fuck her. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I don't think she likes me that way, but I mean, all right, I guess. All right.
No, I've spoken to her. She does not like you that way. I asked for you, buddy.
Dude,
I'm just kidding.
All right, so to enter this, all you have to do, for those of you listening live, I think everybody live might have already done this anyway, but in our announcements channel of Discord, all that you have to do, and if you're listening to this after the show has already aired,
you're not
going to
win this cologne.
You won't win the cologne, but you still have a lot of options to win for the next several weeks.
Yeah, we're going to be giving away for a while.
All you have to do is go find the announcement that Josh put in the announcements channel. that has to do with the Manscaped giveaway. And all you have to do is add a little heart or a smiley face or an emoji or something as a reaction.
Or just press on one of the reactions that's already there.
Yeah, or just add your reaction to somebody else's, because what Josh does is then he tallies up the names, he removes the past winners, and then we pick a name out of those. Now, if you've already won something, you can't win some of the other small prizes we're giving away, but you can be entered into our final drawing October 26th, I think. We've talked about that a few times.
That's right, yeah. It's the 26th.
We're giving away now. Giving away the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, which is their, that's their top shelf, upper echelon groomer, and 2 of the ear, nose, and hair trimmers, right? Is that the other one that we're giving?
Yes, that's the, I can't say what it's called. I can't read it.
We should do a better job of knowing what the names of the products are.
We're giving away one of the lawnmowers, which is the regular clippers, and 2 of the weed whackers, which is like the nose and ear. Yeah,
that's right.
Weed whacker 4.0, and then
you can still win those the final night if you've already won another prize. You just have to be present with us in Discord, because that's only going to go towards people who are in Discord with us that night. But
hey, and I'll tell you what, I'm logged in Discord right now. I was double checking all the names. There's at least one of you listening to the live stream right now. You didn't react, but I added your name to the list anyways because you're here. I see you. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick a name.
Why should be that person? That'd be fucking great.
Josh, you sure you didn't add yourself, right? You cheating bastard.
I mean, if my name gets drawn, it's official, right? It's a giveaway, so
it's illegal.
All right, so the refined cologne is going to Aponte 007. So going to
Omar. That's our
Omar,
boy. That's our boy Omar. Omar won some cologne.
Okay, can you do me a favor, Adam? Can you stop giving it away that all these people are our best friends, and that's who's getting
who do you
all
think
the
listens to the show? It's just our friends.
That's a good point.
No, I'm kidding.
We have the largest circle of friends ever, apparently. Based off what Manscaped is based off their perception.
A couple of these. So the funny thing was, when I was shipping them, I didn't put. A couple of them I had full names, so I put the full name of the person that they're going to, but a couple of them I only had addresses and their Discord names, so a couple of the folks are going to get their package titled to their
Eagle
Discord.
90.
Yeah, 100%. That might have been one of them. Titled to their Discord name at their address, so hey, that's all right.
Well, it's still if you just put the right address on it,
Yeah,
it'll
you
show
just
up.
put the right address, yeah. Fucking, they don't. UPS doesn't give a shit if you're there or not. If it
You
goes,
can put dickhead and it'll show up as long as you put the right address.
yeah, that's right. You've received my packages. All right, congrats,
Adam,
Omar.
There's a lot of people that received your packages over your life.
Yeah, not so much anymore, but used to.
Wow, you're a married man now.
Yeah.
Of course, you're not getting late.
Yes, truth hurts sometimes. Truth is comedy.
Oh, did I
right?
say that out loud?
all right, cool. And I also mentioned earlier, I was talking about the performance package, what it has in it, and I trailed off on a couple of things. So I just want to fill that in too. Lawnmower 4.0, their clippers, the Weed Whacker, which is the nose and ear hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver, which is the ball deodorant, the Crop Reviver, which is the ball spray toner, the Magic Mats, which is disposable shaving mats, keeps your sink clean.
Ooh,
I guess your floor
I need to
clean.
get one
Those
of
ones
those.
just for the floor. And then also has like a nice travel bag that comes with it. It's called the Should. And then the boxers that I was talking about. So
Nice.
if you're thinking about plussing up on some Manscaped stuff,
That's the way to go for sure.
this
Yeah.
is like the thing right now. It's so cheap. Anyways, yeah. All right, we got to hear number one. I am legitimately hooked on Star Trek right now.
Are you? Are you going to go check out some next gen shows?
I'm not going to say that I'm going to go watch it because, well, we all know. But I am very interested. I'm serious about it. I might read some of it. I might find some old stuff. Because, like I said, I read at night anyways, and that it fits well with me. So I might one day read some Star Trek
Very
books.
interesting. Very interesting. All right, you guys ready for number one?
Let's do
Adam?
it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're staring at your
I'm
phone
sorry.
like me.
No,
just kidding.
I'm talking to
I
Discord.
know you're talking to Discord.
I gotta stop doing that during the show.
No,
I
you're
apologize,
fine. No,
man.
you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Especially when Josh is out
You should
sick.
continue to talk to Discord. Number one, Cause and Effect, Season 5, Episode 18.
So this is your number one
This
favorite
is absolutely my favorite
Star
episode.
Trek Next Generation. But is this all Star Treks? Is this your favorite out of all of them, or just the Next Generation?
No, I think is, even though Next Generation is my favorite Star Trek iteration, right? Is that right? Star Trek series.
Iteration is good.
Yeah. I don't want to give away my favorite. My favorite's a classic one, and when I do a Star Trek classic episode, where I do my top 10 favorite classic ones, I will definitely.
Sweet.
I'll give a hint. Dun 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 dun. Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. I gave you a hint of my number one for a classic.
Wow.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, Josh is like, I have no idea. Is that from
It's like
Cable?
a high school
Isn't that
football
from
game?
Cable Guy?
a high school football game.
All right, so number one, Cause and Effect, Season 5, Episode 18. This is the time loop episode. So it opens up with Worf, Data, Riker, and Dr. Crusher playing poker, probably in Riker's room. Now, Riker, number one, right? He's known in the show as being a really good poker player. He actually does poker lessons.
He's kind of like the playboy.
Oh, definitely.
He's the suave.
He's the suave
character.
playboy. Yeah, because he's a good-looking guy. He's the worst actor of the bunch, but he's a good.
Horrible actor.
Yeah. Jonathan Frakes is a really bad actor, but he does good enough for the show, right? And I like him in the show, but he's just not a good actor. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, he's better than me. So if you're listening to this, Jonathan Frakes, you're better than me. So I'm not claiming I'm a good actor, but I'm claiming you're on TV and you're not. But anyway, still love the show. Love you, Riker. Anyway, they're playing poker, and just normal poker, blah blah blah, whatever. All of a sudden, they get a distress call, right? To to go to the ship. They get a distress call. They have to go to the bridge, and all of a sudden, there's a ship coming in that just appeared out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere, this ship appears, and for whatever reason, their instruments or their controls aren't working. They can't figure out how they're just not working. They're not able to move away from it. It's headed right for them. They're about to collide. They do collide, and the ship starts to fall apart. And then the last thing you hear is Picard say, "All hands abandon ship. All hands abandon." The Enterprise blows up to a billion pieces. And that's it. That's how it starts out. Then they roll the credits and do the whole space, the final frontier. Then all of a sudden, there it is again. They're back at this poker table, right?
So they're caught in the time loop now.
They are caught in this time loop. They're starting to play poker.
I remember this episode.
They're dealing the cards, and Dr. Crusher is like, man, this feels familiar. Like, she's like noticing that it feels familiar. So they get caught in the time loop. Same thing happens again, right? Enterprise blows up. Back to the poker table. Here they go again. But now it's really feeling familiar, like deja vu, right? This is feeling super familiar. Something's up.
Are more people starting to recognize the deja vu?
More
at
people
this
are
point?
starting to recognize. Then there's even one time where she wants Data to deal the cards, and he's like, but no one's placed a bet. Just screw the bet. Just deal the cards. She names the 4 cards before he deals them. Then Riker names them. Then Worf names them, and Data's like, this is highly improbable.
Yeah, Data doesn't have deja vu.
Data doesn't have deja vu. He's not getting it. He's not getting this time loop. So they start to figure out that all of a sudden, there's this part in it where Crusher hears voices. She hears all these voices a couple times, and one time she decides to grab her tricorder. Tricorder is a little machine they use to do lots of fun stuff.
And Cliff Clavin it up.
Yeah, and they and well, you want me to describe stuff in case people don't like Star Trek. And she records them. Well, they have Data listen to it to try and break down all these voices. These voices are they're the crew. They're the crew of the ship, and they're the crew. They're talking, they're fucking, they're like whatever they're doing at the time, right? He can break down all the individual voices, but then he's able to break down hearing Picard say, all hands abandon ship, all hands abandon ship. And they decide, okay, we're stuck in a loop. They realize, all right, we're stuck in some kind of time loop. And we've got to figure out how to break out of it, but we don't know exactly what it is that happens that gets us into this loop. So they decide that they're going to try and send a message into the next loop. Something short and super sweet. Some kind of message. So Data sends the message 3. That's all he can, just a simple message, the number 3. So now they're all of a sudden, they're back at the poker table, right? And she's sure again she knows what all the cards are going to be, but no, they're all like 3. Like 3, 3, 3, 3. Everything's 3. He's like, okay,
Really?
that's
how
weird.
the message came across?
That's how the message came across. And all these random appearances of 3. So then all of a sudden they're back on the bridge. They're trying to figure out what to do. Data says the same thing. I think we should use the tractor beam. This is what he says every time to do this. Riker says, how about we open the cargo bay doors and just that kind of explosion of air will kind of just push us away. Well, they always go with Data's idea, and every time Data's idea sucks and gets them blown up. Of course, they don't know that. So as Data was about to do what he was going to do, he looked over at Riker's insignia, because everybody in, if you're a lieutenant, if you're a first officer, if you're a captain, you have little pins,
Chevrons.
I guess, little chevrons on your neck. Well, Riker has 3 of them. And that's when Data realizes, oh shit, 3. That's something indicating that maybe I'm going to try and do what Riker said to do. So he does Riker's plan instead of his own plan. They finally don't collide with the ship, and they break out of this time loop. Well, anyway, the ship that was coming through was another ship. Now, they were stuck in that time loop. I think it was like 72 days or some shit. They were in this time loop. The ship that comes through was stuck in that motherfucker, like when they talk to the captain, they bring it on screen, like 70 years.
Oh.
And it was Kelsey Grammer. He was he was a huge Star Trek fan, and he just wanted one little tiny, give me some little something. I just want one little scene in a show.
That's cool.
So he was actually the captain that came through. So that so that's how they did it. But it was just constant, like they must have looped through that thing 5, 6, 7 times during the show.
That was one of your favorite, really?
That is my number one
Wow.
favorite show, has always been my number one favorite Star Trek Next Generation
Time
show.
loop episodes are something that have, transferred across lots of different sci-fi genres.
Yes.
And only a few have ever been done successfully to where I like them, because it becomes too repetitive. They don't get to the point of recognizing the differences or, the revelations of the characters fast enough.
They start recognizing it number 2.
Yes.
Like the second go around, they're always getting like a little bit of deja
That's
vu.
cool, man.
Right from the beginning, they start to recognize that. Now, what happened to the other ship that was there 70 years? I guess they're just not very smart.
No, they didn't have a Data.
They didn't have a Data, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was number 1, cause and effect.
Damn.
Man, that was a lot of fun. Speaking as a non-Star Trek fan, as a non-spun up on Star Trek lore person, that was awesome. Star Trek sounds super cool through your lens.
The stories in Next Generation are the best stories. It was so hard.
They're the best stories.
They're the best stories. It was so hard to pick 10. There were so many great ones.
Yeah.
I left out a lot of great.
Star Trek had 7 seasons, and each season was
26 episodes.
26 episodes long.
So 170 something like that.
That's good. That's a long run.
Yeah, they would have kept going, but they wanted to stop making movies. It was the number 3 show on television.
When they stopped.
When it stopped, it was the first top 5 show ever to leave the air.
Damn.
Yeah. So, so it's just awesome, man. I mean, there's so many more good, great episodes beyond that. The first episode is fantastic. I didn't put it on the list, but it was close. I almost did. The encounter at Farpoint Station. I know I mentioned it a couple times. Absolutely. It starts off with a bang, and you can see the evolution of the characters, of course. Riker gets fat, and
evolution of the characters or the actors?
Yeah, the evolution of the characters and the actors.
I think a little of both, yeah.
I think
Picard goes bald.
I think
I
Troy.
think he was born bald.
I think Counselor Troy is a little hotter right at the very beginning. Like her outfits are a bit more revealing.
Oh yeah, they sexed it up at the beginning.
They sexed it up big time. She kind of looks like if anybody doesn't know what she looks like a Greek goddess. That is like the kind of the way they made her look and how Marina Sirtis looks and whatnot. I love the episode. Here I'm going to connect a little because it'll be a throw into the one. The 4th or 5th episode, I'm not really sure. Maybe somebody in Discord could tell me. Is an episode called, and this is just one of the ones I left off I liked, called The Naked Now. Well, the naked now is a disease they get where they touch this disease and it makes them like drunk. And so everybody gets this disease all over the whole damn ship. They're all pretty much like they're intoxicated, but it won't go away. And they're all just fucking doing stupid shit, hanging around, laughing, fucking. I mean, even Data's fucking. Even Data gets it for some reason. Don't know how, but he even gets it. Well, the connection there is there's a classic episode called The Naked Time. They have the same disease where they're all just pretty much drunk through the whole thing. Some guy takes over the engineering and he won't let him in, and they're about to crash into a planet. And they throw back to say, okay, how did they get rid of this in the classic one? Because they were looking through.
Watch the reruns, boys. How did they do it?
They were looking for similarities. Like they were watch the reruns. That's like Spaceballs.
Yes.
We're watching now. Everything that's happening now is happening now. Sorry. So they go back and they're trying to find similarities. One of the similarities they found is somebody showering with their clothes on. They found it. How they got the disease is there was a ship where somebody was showering with their clothes on. Someone had messed with the environmental control, so everybody froze. So they found another ship, and the same thing happened, and that was the similarity they were able to put together. Where Data was like, "Wait a minute, this happened on the old Enterprise." So Crusher got this. That's like I'm doing number 11. I'm doing number 1A. I don't know. So Crusher,
number 0.
Yeah, number 0. So Crusher got the formula, but the formula didn't quite work, so she had to adjust it and stuff like that. But it was good. It was a funny episode.
We did get Discord chiming in. Honorable mention to The Trouble with Tribbles.
Yeah, Trouble with Tribbles is obviously a classic show.
Yeah.
So yes, that's a fan. Dude, there's some great classic shows. Amok Time, where Spock has Punfar. That's his blood boils with mating lust, and he has to go back to Vulcan and fuck some chicks.
Yes.
Every 7 years, he goes and gets laid in Vulcan.
Yeah, that's their heat. That's their heat cycle.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's lots of City on the Edge of Forever is a good one. Trouble with Tribbles is a good one. There is in Star Trek. Oh shit. There's a Star Trek, and I think it's Voyager, where they take the Star Trek. I think it's Voyager, and I don't watch Voyager, so I don't know. It might be a Deep Space Nine.
So I'm not as a Trekkie guy as you
One of
are.
those.
Is Voyager like the?
It's the next generation of the.
Is that
it's
like
after.
Is that like
after the next
considered
gen.
by real Star Trek fans as like? That's just the studio trying to make money.
I don't know. I mean,
Is that lowbrow Star Trek?
No, I wouldn't say so. Classic is super famous. Next Gen is famous, and Deep Space Nine was just an offshoot of, because it was the same time of Next Gen, and you had some of the same character. Miles O'Brien, who was like the transporter chief, he ended up going over to Deep Space Nine. I think Worf went to Deep Space Nine after Next Gen was over. And there was just a lot of in and outs. There was a lot of, but I didn't really watch Deep Space Nine. But there is an episode of, I think it might be Voyager, where they actually they do a fucking kick-ass job. And the only reason I knew this show existed is because of a Big Bang Theory episode where they mention it, and I was like, that sounds really fucking cool. I'm gonna go search that. Well, they do a combination, is they take the characters from Star Trek Voyager and somehow transpose them into the classic Star Trek episode, and it fucking looks like they're in the episode.
Really?
Yes, and I think it might be the Trouble with Tribbles one.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I'll find out more about that, because it's neither Next Gen or classic.
That is a great use for deepfake software.
Oh yeah, they do it. It's like not deep fake as much as it's just film tricks, but they actually have them like on the old Enterprise, and they have integrated the old. It's really badass. I'm like,
that's cool.
It's fucking cool. I'll find out more about that, and I'll talk about it whenever I do a Star Trek Classic Top 10.
Good. So we took.
Yeah,
You took a incredibly niche, whatever the fucking word is, topic, and you owned it because you're passionate about it, and that is the whole point of the Twisted 10. The top 10 lists can be very broad, very vague, very focused, narrow niche like you just did, but you can tell the host whether they're into it or not based on their passion, and you brought the fucking passion tonight. So good list, dude. That was really
one
good.
of my favorite shows ever, Next Gen. I've watched them so many times.
If I did one of my favorites, it'd be top 10 Baywatch episodes.
Yeah, I like the one where Pam Anderson is running down the beach and her tits bounce.
Oh, that's my favorite too.
Which episode is that?
Oh, No, that you did a fucking great list. Hopefully,
What about the one where David Hasselhoff is laying down drunk on a hotel floor and eating a hamburger?
or jumps out of a boat?
Okay.
Moving boat.
No, I guess you didn't get that reference.
I didn't get that reference.
There's a video of David Hasselhoff drunk off his fucking ass that his daughter took, drunk out of his mind, just mumbling, like trying to eat a hamburger, laying on the fucking hotel ground, trying to eat a hamburger. Yeah, you can look at it. He
sounds like he'd be fun to hang out with.
Yeah, he was fucked up. I guess it set him straight watching that video too.
Oh,
and
he's
I guess his daughter posted it.
She shamed the shit out of him for that. Oh well.
Boy, we really tangented there from
was a
Next
hard
Gen
tangent.
to
David
Baywatch.
Hasselhoff. Yeah.
I have some other TV stuff I'm going to do. I'm starting to realize there's some good TV stuff to do.
There's a ton of TV topics, yeah. We haven't done very many, so out of the 140 or so episodes that we've got, only a few of them really touch on TV shows.
Yeah, I won't make it I don't like to make it a habit of anything.
Well,
but I will definitely do some more TV
if you're as
stuff
passionate about what other TV shows you want to bring as you were tonight about this list, then they're going to be good. So
I have some TV shows I like more than Star Trek.
We did get a couple of folks that responded, by the way. So we said at the beginning of the show, if you've heard this show, if this is a new listen to you because you're a Star Trek fan. So we have some people that responded live?
Yeah,
to let us know where you heard from. How did we get you?
What was your first show? Yeah,
what was your first show? We had the Flat Earth Roundtable, Hysteria 51, the guys over at Mr. Bunker's Conspiracy Time podcast. So we've got a couple of different references to how people have come onto the show already in our Discord.
I think it would be funny if 90% of them are some weird guy came up to me at the mall and said check out my podcast. There's gonna be like 75 responses like that.
Josh, we need to have a contest of some kind. Now that we've got 17,000 of these little stickers, we need to send them out to our listeners and have them take a picture of them somewhere and have like a cool, where did you slap a Twisted 10 sticker contest? What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. I think...
Oh, nipple covers. That needs to be our first picture to Discord.
Can it be Counselor Troy wearing the...
God, if somebody can...
Or Pamela Henderson.
If a listener can hyperimpose or Photoshop Twisted 10 logos... Superimpose, whatever. Photoshop Twisted 10 logos over...
Is hyperimpose when you do it like real hyper? Like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm touching her tits.
Over Deanna Troy's nipples... That'll just make my day. I don't really know what to say about it, but we'll send you some free stickers if you can hook us up.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I hope the stickers are not very sticky and fall off.
All right. We'll come up with something fun for
so
the
use
stickers.
Twisted 10 stickers as the censored bar.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like where we're going with this. Maybe Adam's just extra horny. Maybe that's what this is.
Yeah. You'll turn Twisted 10 stickers into some fucking weird sex shit.
Well, yeah, I will. Yeah.
Would you have sex in a glass booth in the mall? That's a throwback to a somewhat older episode.
Yeah, there's no.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, agreed, Josh. There's no question. I would. Given the right situation.
Is Josh saying yes for Josh, or is Josh saying yes for Adam?
I think he said yes to accept your proposal. He wants to have sex with you in the.
Yeah, I would love to go have sex with you in a glass box in the mall.
Okay, sweet.
All right, you guys ready to get out of here?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, fucking great list again, Ron. Good job. Listeners, go check out twisted10.com. Thank you for the sponsorships from Manscaped. We appreciate it. And congratulations, Omar, for winning tonight's Manscaped giveaway. On behalf of the Twisted 10, I'm Adam.
I'm Ron.
Well, I was going to go through it to Josh first.
Well, how am I supposed to know that?
I ended on... let's try it again. I'm Adam. I'm Josh. Say Josh.
And I'm Josh.
And to our host tonight,
I'm Ron.
we fucked that all up.
You think?
It's because I'm not there. It's because I'm remote.
It's
oh
still
yeah,
remote.
Josh isn't there, so we're fucking everything up. Sure.
All right, guys, we're gonna go record the after show where we have a myriad of fun and bizarre topics for this evening. So we will we appreciate you guys listening, and we will see you all next week.